Who would have thunk that 3 days after the last podcast, there would be enough things to go right back in?
I'm going to assume everyone. I remember only a specific person last week. I saw somebody fly by in the chat when we were doing it. And it was like, well, it's Wednesday already. Why not just wait an extra day and do it right after the Game Awards? And it's like, bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So, I mean, that certainly helps. But even outside of, like, I assumed, it's like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of things going on from the TGAs. But even outside of that, like, just as we're starting now, I'm, like, scrambling to read about the day before.
Oh,
because
the day
I'm
before?
like, because I'm like, what the fuck is this? What,
That
like,
happened
what?
entirely within the last news cycle.
And it's like, it seems like it's happening like right now, and like there's updates and articles and things coming out about it, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this game? And I'm looking at it, and it's like, okay, so this MMO shut down, and I go to look at the video, the trailer for it, and it's just the most generic derivative looking, why would anyone want to play this ass looking thing ever? Maybe
Okay,
I'm
so
just fucking out of touch, but like, what the fuck is any of this?
So, the Game Awards is a great time to talk about this. Wooly, you and I have some level of expertise, but no one's perfect, right? But it's become extremely clear that many, 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 many people don't have a skill that we have spent years accumulating. And that is looking at a trailer and going, that is a fucking fake video game. I remember the last time you got it wrong was Anthem. I remember when that very fancy Anthem trailer was being shown off with the flying, and Matt and I sat there and go, that is fake as shit. And you went, nah, it looks cool. And that was the last time I ever had that interaction with you. Because
I like then, Iron Man suits.
Right?
I'm a sucker for Iron Man suits.
Over the past week that pretended they were a real video game, and you look at them and you're like, that is a fake ass CG trailer that's pretending, just like the Killzone days.
Yeah,
like
there's become
days of yore.
There's become a recurring bit where like a trailer will play and then I'll just remain silent and then turn over to Reggie and he'll be like, "Where's the gameplay?" And I'm like, "Yay! He gets it. We're learning." Yeah.
The day before occasionally would put out a little video. I remember seeing them, and they always looked like something that was built to show off to someone and then throw away in the trash to never actually be included. But it's claims of a big zombie MMO and the Last of Us style, and that's why they stole the Last of Us art.
The moment you see the font, man. The moment you see the font, and like your entire creative endeavor. Oh, we've spent 5 years. Who the fuck cares? If you spent 5 years laboring, you didn't give enough of a shit about the thing you were working on to like not even give it half of an assed identity. You just grabbed the font of the other thing and went, look, does it remind you of that? Please, please, please associate the other thing's good feelings with our thing. You know, like right off the bat, the opening salvo is Last of Us font. Fuck.
Yeah. Well,
parent confusion marketing.
The day before is like a scam, like it's an objective scam. The game is now shut down, despite being in early access, and the company has been disbanded.
So the stories are, because I was going to get I was grabbing the current story, which is the day before controversial shooter shuts down, a week after massive Steam launch.
Dude, not even. It's been 4 days.
And in looking that up comes the story right before that. Please don't accuse us of scamming.
Please,
the day before
we tried
issues
really
a statement ahead of early access launch.
I'm being informed by a reputable source just now that the game's development leaned heavily on unpaid volunteers.
Like, just the unpaid volunteers, asset flipping, copyright disputes, just across the board. And you're like, man, Like, why go through the elaborate ruse of like doing all this work and then
Oh,
uploading to
these are the
Steam?
fuckers that made Prop Night?
What?
Oh, man.
I don't even know, but it's just, why not just get a couple of guns and go down to the place you want to rob and point them at the people and then take
Well,
the money? Like,
so
we can
the
simplify this entire exercise and cut it down by 4 years.
because the company's in Russia, and that means they'd have to deal with Russian police.
Ah.
So it appears to be that the steps that were taken here were work just enough to build up fake trailers made of fake gameplay, buy ad space on IGN and whatnot to show that, have a big launch, and then as soon as people start going, hey, what the fuck, this is a bunch of bullshit, they announce that the company no longer exists and run. I'm
After
seeing
you've
people saying
purchased it
that
for
Steam is giving people refunds.
yeah, after you've bought it for $50.
So I think their
nice.
scam may have in fact failed, because it's 4 days is not enough for Steam to transfer any money to the dev, right? So maybe they were hoping to ride it out like 1 month so that they
What
got
was
that
your
payment.
Okay, so at the very least, like, all of that is for naught because they're too stupid to stick around long enough to get the
They
cash.
did
in
it
hand.
too hard. They should have done the apology letter, and they should have
Oh my
right. They should have been
God.
like, "We're working on it." Blah blah blah.
But I have to take a step back and go like who paid after watching that this money to these
They
people?
saw
Like,
zombie MMO.
who bought this? Why?
A
Why
lot of
did you
people.
buy it?
Because they wanted the zombie MMO. Wooly, we are on a video game podcast talking about video games and other such stuff. The level of consumer discretion that the dumbest person who listens to this show has is still miles above the average consumer. And that is not to say that we're all so good and smart.
No,
It's
not
just
at
to say,
all.
like most people, like a lot of people buy video games like they would go to the store and buy a book and go, huh, the cover of this looks nice, cool. Yoink.
I remember like laughing hard, well, like over 10 plus years ago, at things like the fucking Devil Kings font and the beach volleyball game that was trying really hard not to be DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball. That would be on the game stop shelf right next to it, and parent confusion marketing in general. The Wii U game draw tablet,
Carnival
like,
fuck shit.
I just like, it's always just been this thing of like, this is hilariously stupid. You're not gonna ever trick me into like, what the fuck are you doing? And I don't know. I just like, especially when you look and you just see like, okay, there's a military gun thing, and then you see that fucking font. And it's
So
just
here's
like,
the thing,
oh,
Wooly.
man. Like, asset flips, I recognize. You have to kind of get used to playing enough and seeing enough of that shit to go, I know that exact model.
So it's not just your personal distaste, it's not just your personal knowledge of this universe. It's also your generalized ambivalence or distaste for the thing that you're describing right now.
Jaded disposition.
Right, of like military man shoot the zombie, like people who fucking love Call of Duty Zombies and have Call of Duty Zombies on their Steam, and they've relabeled whatever Black Ops game they're playing to Call of Duty Zombies, and that's all they play. See, zombie MMO, wow.
Of course. At this,
Like,
and
need I point to, and this is a nice segue or segu, if you would. need I point to a set of videos that I've been watching all week, which is dudes not understanding why Spider-Man 2 didn't win every single award at the Game Awards.
Yes. Yes.
FIFA didn't even. My favorite one is the guy who's like, Forza beat FIFA. It's FIFA every year, man. What are you talking about?
But look at this
Spider-Man.
Look at this fucking insane unplayable cutscene, and here's gameplay of Baldur's Gate 3. What the fuck? How could this possibly have beaten? Yeah,
I saw
because the
that
camera isn't doing
a really good follow-up that was really genuinely funny, which was the reply to his own like Sandman cutscene was Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay. It was a picture of 2 dice sitting on a white background, and I'm like, that's actually really funny.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, look, man, like that's just you can't. That I mean, when you hit them with the equivalent of nice what is it? The nice themes or subtext, idiot. Now check this shit out. Super Saiyan. Ha!
Yeah. I saw a guy doing a skit in which Baldur's Gate 3 is the best game that has the best Spider-Man suits in it. To which the gentleman goes, huh? It's like, yeah, because it doesn't have this trash, and it points to fucking Miles's fucking Colgate Adidas pile of shit.
Whew, man. Anyway, I just yeah, so like as I'm just scrambling through every detail of this story, it just sounds like
there's not many.
The most repulsive game, but like concept with zero creative integrity or anything remotely interesting about it turns out to be a gigantic scam is not the right word. Like it's just a criminal robbery enterprise.
Well,
like
I mean, fraud is scam is fraud is crime.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I just it's just, you know, like
I think it's like I think they're not good at it either, because like 4 days after the game comes out, they're like, we fired everyone, the studio no longer exists. It's like the paperwork alone would take weeks on that, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, okay.
Well, luckily, people who have issues will have the reach of international law to go and reach this company in their business practices in Russia.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't know this was Russia, but yeah.
I eagerly await the expectations from any incoming lawsuits from country that doesn't give a shit.
I should have, I think if I were to click on this and see the day before .ru, I would have been like, oh, okay, all right, well, here we go. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very up and above board. Good stuff. I expect to hear the updates legally about what happens, and not for this to just completely disappear and never come up again. What was the thing they made before? Prop
Night.
What's that?
It's Prop Hunt, but Halloween based, and it's shit.
Does it use the same font?
No, it's actually got more work put into it than
That's incredible.
the day before does.
Damn.
It's not a scam game so much as just a crap. Just a crap.
Okay.
That's it.
Man, I mean, I know that like you kind of you look at the creative stuff sometimes and go, I don't understand how this comes out of nowhere, right? But like there's something to when if you're like on a team of people, like if you're trying to make something and you like you give a fuck about it, and or you get hired by a studio and they just go, shut the fuck up, copy this thing and change it a little bit. And you do that for the course of years, and like you just it's like
then
that's
you make
your
a banger called Fatal Fury.
or Best of Best or The Street Fight or exactly, right? 100%.
Dude, it's a tale us all this time.
Unbelievably, because it's like that thing is making so much money in arcades. What are you, crazy? Of course we're gonna copy it. Shut the fuck up. 1,000,000%.
All right,
You
listen.
know?
Figure out what would get a lawyer to call us, and then back it off just like 5%.
And then
This guy's name is Ryu. That's too close.
Rio.
Make it orange. Done.
And well, no, because the other guy's orange, so let's just fuse them together. It's fine. And as long as you make it more affordable for the arcade operator to buy, because that's who you're really trying to sell to, keep in mind, they're going to make their money back in quarters. And if that shit pops off, then you can slowly crawl your way out of fucking like legally questionable territory into you're now a classic because you've been ripping it off long enough, but you've became your own thing. You know, you're up there with the heroes, and then you get legitimized by having a versus title that features you versus the original.
Legitimacy comes from when people stop calling you a clone and start and invent a new genre title. So Vampire Survivors or Vampire Survivors clone existed for like 6 months, and then some good ones came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20 Minutes Till Dark and Hollow Cure. And people were like, well, we should come up with a new name for this because these are actually good.
But there's just something that's so much more offensive about like the kind of the case we're describing here. Because, for example, I remember there's an article I read like 1,000,000 years ago about how Nintendo will oftentimes pioneer a new type of game or genre and then leave it alone. And then a bunch of people will come along and copy it and like make a whole style and evolve the idea and turn it into this whole thing that Nintendo doesn't give a fuck about anymore. And then they move, and you know, you get the kart racing like example, you know, as like one of the pinnacles that were described, right? And it's like, if everyone's gonna do a mascot themed kart racer, like that's fine, that's a really fun idea, and we've seen some great shit out there. But
Kart
like, it's like
really funny because like over like 25 years there have been 2 other good ones ever, and they've been Crash Team Racing and that Sonic All Stars or whatever.
Sega All Star, you know. But hey, look, we got Bloodborne Kart coming out, and we're pretty hype. And Diddy Kong Racing had flying in it. And, you know, there's some shit out there that was like fun, and we have good memories for. But the point is more like, you look at those examples and you're like, okay, you're doing your own version of that, sure. But when you see the Mario Kart font, it's like, we don't even have enough of a fucking creative bone in our body to try something on our own.
Half of the kids nowadays can barely read, and you want to fucking like have people figuring out font choices for shit that came out 20 years ago.
Because if I booted up Hollow Cure or Halls of Torment or 20 Minutes till Dawn, and like I got fucking bup, you know, with the fucking shit like and it's not Vampire Survivors. Like, at all of those games are doing the Vampire Survivors gameplay thing, but at the very least they're presenting their own bit, they're trying their own thing while just going for that gameplay element and building off of it. A lot of the platform fighters, as they're called now, the Smash clones, you know, some of them are adhering aggressively to the Smash formula by having like percentages for knockoffs, and others are like, no, well, you have a life bar, and you know, whether it works or not, you get your PlayStation All-Stars, like, use a super to kill situation. They try some wild shit, but like, it's the part where you go past emulating the gameplay and you go into just like emulating the branding, where it just becomes so much more pathetic. It's McDonald's, you know?
You are expecting...
No, it's not. I'm not expecting this. I'm just pointing out that it's that much more pathetic when it goes past the gameplay. That's it. I'm not expecting otherwise.
There's 2 examples that I can come up with here that are parables for this situation about human intelligence. Are you aware that it is impossible to design a bear-proof trash can?
They'll always find a way.
No. The problem is that the overlap between a trash can that's hard enough that the smartest bear can't open it overlaps with
human.
The dumbest person can't open it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It has been
What
tried
a fun
over
trivia.
and over in American parks where they
What a
make
fun
bear-resistant
piece of
trash
trivia.
cans that people then can't figure out how to open. So then they leave their trash on the ground next to the trash can.
What else are you supposed to do? I don't understand this dumb thing.
Right?
Oh,
and the second
yeah,
one,
that's
which
great.
is a lot cuter, is that for our little baby, we got he's a little baby. He's not grasping things quite yet, right? So we're like, well, we want him to have fun with something. So we got him these little rattles that are like wristbands. So when he flaps his little baby arms, it makes like jingle jingle noise. Guess who keeps stealing that shit? The cat. Because the overlap between toys for 5-month-old baby and 15-year-old cat it's a circle, man. Like it's the same toys. It's the same fucking thing.
Dude, so do you remember how I was describing how when I went to Iceland, I went to a beach that was like that had sneaker waves that were just waves that came from the North Pole uninterrupted all the way to the shores of Iceland. And if you happened to be standing there, they claimed you back to the earth.
Yeah.
And I described how there are infinity signs large in every language with photos of the last person who died getting taken into the water because they were not paying attention, they were not reading, they didn't listen, and they stood too close and they turned their back or whatever the fuck they did. Maybe a couple weeks ago, that same place we were standing got someone else. In fact, it got two people since we left.
I'm going to assume that a person putting up that signage does not have in their heart, I hope this prevents another tragic loss of life. I imagine what they are feeling in their heart is, well, I did my job. Time to ignore this beach and see what happens.
But the thing, though, dude, is that culturally, that energy changes a lot, right? You'll feel it in Amsterdam, where a little bit of a like, yeah, there's no guardrail here to stop you from dropping into the canal because what the fuck? You hold your kid. Don't do that. Like, there's a little bit less of that, like, and maybe there's also like the fact that North America, there's a lot of like lawsuit culture and stuff that, you know, safety plus lawsuit danger equals we need to go over and above and beyond this, because even if we can convince you to not go do this thing, someone might try to do it if they think they can get a payday out of it. There's a million other steps, but so culturally that energy changes a lot when you go to different places, you know, and in Iceland's case, it felt like compared to everywhere else that we visited and looked, that were like, you know, they'd give you your warnings about things that were like, hey, be careful here. This one was the most loud and over the top of all the places we'd been, shy of having someone standing there to stop you at the gate and say, hey, did you read this? Okay, now go ahead. You know, they didn't have that. But either way, like, people still walked right up to it. Boom, there you go. You know?
So, I'm not going to be able to remember the details or the name of the study, but it's been conclusively shown, Wooly, over and over and over, that if a sign planted in a location warning you to do something tells you something that you don't like, it will erase from your mind as soon as you stop looking at it for most people.
Interesting. I'd love to see the source on that.
And
that sounds fascinating.
You know, even seeing the sign at all erases it. It doesn't enter in, right? They don't the fact that there was a sign at all. Someone will find the actual research, but I can tell you from personal experience, as somebody who has mopped the floor and fucking put up like 10 wet floor signs only to see people step over the sign and slip and fall and then get mad at me.
Oh yeah, and
you feel so good because you point and then they don't know what to do because they're embarrassed and they just go
that now becomes about the shame, of course, right? There's an infinite list an infinite list of videos that you can find online of people at a shooting range going for a fun selfie pointing the gun at their friend. And like
Firearms instructors.
you cannot get to that place where you're in the shooting range with live ammunition without having gone through the extensive list and the person standing there practically screaming in your face about what the rules are and signing all the things and going through all those steps, you know. I like there, and it doesn't fucking matter because it's going to be like like it just you know. Yeah, you can't. It's true. There's a level that you just can't possibly stop. And then it's also the like the ones where, well, whatever. There's the level of like I know what I'm doing, I just don't care, which is a whole different feeling entirely, you know.
So I also have a second thing which I will shout out. My
You
favorite.
just muted.
I muted?
Did you mute yourself?
I did not.
I can't hear you.
I'm broadcasting.
Did the batteries die again? Is it me?
Let's look at chat. Chat, am I muted?
No.
That's fine. All right.
Okay. It looks like it's the headphones again.
Wait, you
That-
can't hear me.
I can hear you now coming through the fucking
You hear me now?
I can hear you coming through the
I'm muted.
okay. There's two speakers switching over. The device got all fucked up and I think it's 'cause of the headphones.
Ah!
I just charged these batteries before we started. I don't know why they would be not working.
We should take a second.
All right, BRB.
Now I'm
Okay.
Hello, are we back?
Yes. Quick test.
Wonderful.
You sound a bit louder than usual to me, but
Oh darn.
that's should be fine for them.
You never know.
Let me attempt to correct
Hey, them in the chat. Pat does seem a bit louder. Oh, well, if I'm louder for both, you can just turn me down.
Yeah, I'll just turn you down.
Just turn down. Man is wrong, but also loud, so who knows?
Wipe me down. All right, there we go.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, I was in the process. My second example, Wooly, for people not listening to signs that will kill them, I will read the following I selected at random. Instead of vegetable stock, I used pineapple sauce, bodged up from a tin of pineapples, juice and mustard seeds, onion, half a parsnip, honey, apple, and some sweet spices, garlic, and ginger tomato puree, lemon juice, and water. I used coconut milk and added extra apple. Beautiful. This is a recipe for carrot soup.
Right.
If you want to feel the desperate ache of suicidal ideation, go down to the I didn't have eggs Reddit, where you can see people arguing with recipes in their reviews. If people don't want to do it a certain way, they're not going to do it, even if it's wrong. I remember in my shop class, you remember in shop class, shop teacher said, don't do this one thing.
Don't do it. Yeah.
And then by the end of day, class was cut short to help that one kid to the nurse's office.
I feel like there should be a name for this phenomenon as well, because so in conclusion, a lot of stupid, right? But
yeah, it's called being fucking stupid.
But also, I think there's another phenomenon too at play in a lot of cases where, and this is something that I just constantly have to be reminded of. I'm just like, the amount of people on the internet that might just be like a 15-year-old that your brain is assuming is another adult is overwhelming.
I forgot where I saw it. I don't know who I'm quoting, but they said that the tragedy of social media is that it is not criminal for me being at risk for seeing a minor's opinion.
Like,
right?
A lot of the time you might actually see that. Like, I saw, what was it? I saw like a post someone made, and it was just shading examples or so. And it was like how different types of hatching and cross hatching and things like that. And it was really poorly executed. It just looked bad. And I was like, okay, half the things that go up online these days are just clickbait, AI farming, whatever, like a bot that's going to just try to get karma. But like in this particular instance, I clicked to look and it was like, actually, no, this was just a thing posted by a 15-year-old. And it's like, oh, right, you have that problem where you naturally assume that like you're again talking to someone at least within 10 years either direction, you know in many cases, especially in the shit we look at, but
I you know what, I'm gonna the kids are dumb, it's true. However, I think you're underestimating how many stupid adults there are.
Regardless. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's there. That's always there. We've been
because you want to be like the person I'm talking to on the social media platform is so stupid they must obviously be a child. No, they're older than you.
Absolutely going to be a number of that as well. It's definitely easy to imagine the target mark for this type of game, as well as that is our age, and then you can also imagine the 15-year-old that's like, it's like Last of Us and we can play online with our friends. Oh man, let's go. And that's the end of the thought,
Wooly, when I was in the States for the last MagFest, Paige and I took an Uber from our Airbnb to the Gaylord Hotel, and the 55-year-old black grandmother in the front seat of the car was talking about how much she loved GTA Online because she can drive around and shoot people, and I know it costs too much, but I just love buying all that shit. Like, there's no limit to age, there's no limit to race or creed, politics or orientation. Like grandma wants to run people over with her car in GTA Online, and that is that. So when you say, hey, grandma, who's only played Grand Theft Auto 5 in her entire life, did you know there's a version like that, but you can run around and you shoot zombies with all your friends?
Mm-hmm.
She'll go, hell yeah, and buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, and it just, in conclusion, you know, just fucking ugh. But
I mean, God, have you ever seen the article or read the story of those two divers that decided they wanted to break into a gigantic undersea tube that said "Do not enter" with a bunch of death symbols on it?
God, no.
And it was the intake valve for the local power plant.
God. Yeah. I just, like, there's stuff where you have to chalk up into, like, now that we're going into this territory, like, you can't,
you shrug and you're like, what were you gonna do?
You can't stop that. You can't stop those. Like, anyone who's super into cave spelunking, you know,
stop.
Like you, I can't stop you.
Stop.
No, I can't stop you. You're a write-off. I'm sorry. There's nothing that could be done. You thought you were intoxicated by the concept of having so little a room to breathe that and fitting your rib cage sideways through a crevice and then getting into a hole and then getting back out.
I'm convinced it's a claustrophilia fetish.
Yeah, it's part of it, maybe. You know, there's also the I gotta chase the high of my life being in danger part of it.
Yeah.
You know, bored Russian kids doing parkour on skyscrapers, free soloing, you know, and stuff like that.
Do you remember, there was the Darwin Awards website, and that was funny to check all the time because it would always be people who had killed themselves in ways that were incredibly obviously easily avoidable. And none of them were tragedies. Not a single one was a tragedy. Every single one was a reasonable assumption of the expectation of the situation. Stuff like, I don't need to fix my car. I'll just jam shotgun shells in random places in the engine and the fucking the spark plugs, and then my car blew up and cut me into pieces because the heat from the fucking battery exploded the shit. And that's not a tragedy. That's just like
you neglected to play it through. And
that's what happens
in life. Just play it through. What comes next?
And I guarantee you, at least once in your life, or anybody that laughed at any of these things, someone in your vicinity, what are you laughing at? Oh, this guy. He this Toronto lawyer threw himself
against
out of
the skyscraper to prove
because
every time a class
his window was
he came through, he would prove how strong it was.
That funny? And
after years of doing it.
Someone said, that's not funny. Someone died. People make mistakes. And in that moment that you hear them say that to you, you look at them with new eyes. The eyes of, this person is at risk of dying every day. Every day. They are taking shortcuts and little jumps that maybe they shouldn't.
I mean,
and they see themselves in
perhaps
lawyer flying outside of skyscraper.
The important
or
detail,
person who doesn't believe in turn signals.
The important detail, because again, I feel like you go up to the CN Tower or any of those Tokyo Tower style. Here's the glass walkway, and you're gonna see someone jump on it, right? You're gonna see someone
jumped on it,
do it, but this dude did that to every group of new interns that came through for years.
Yeah, he thought it was hilarious. He's like, because he was an architecture nerd.
Right? And it's like him doing that on his own weakened the integrity to the point where that happened.
So, of note, he was right. The glass would never break. But he had done the trick so many times that he had loosened the entire pane out of its socket. And him and the entire pane of glass just shot right out.
The window didn't break.
The frame did.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, I don't know if I mean, you guys remember Darwin Awards? You were around for that, right? Or was that like, did you come
happening
along?
Every day?
But that was a website, and it was a very popular thing back when I would say.
So
high
yeah,
school
you know,
into
when rescue man gets a call that you know, an American or, you know, Canadian or you know, any foreign tourist has been taken by the sea, he looks at his calendar and he says, well, I'm going to get a couple days overtime. Time to update the sign with the new picture.
time to print the new sign.
Right?
Yeah.
When I was in Tofino, there were big signs all over the place that was like, don't stand on this rock because this rock goes in the ocean when the tide comes in. The wave will knock you off and you can hit your neck and die. And there was a person on every single one of those rocks.
Yeah, true.
And those people bought the day before.
Look, when we went to look at a bunch of the the what was it? It was the Godfoss, this giant, amazing waterfall that has a great viewpoint and multiple things, and of course people crawling over the gates and the guardrails to get that perfect selfie, and they're standing on the wet rock doing it, and we're just watching like what can you do to this person? What was there was a name actually.
You can hope.
God, there was a word for like cause of death selfie.
Oh, do you remember planking, Wooly?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Planking killed a ton of people. And do you remember they all died the same way? Like, not most planking deaths were hotel balconies. Because you'd get drunk and you'd plank on your hotel balcony and right off the side.
Yeah. There was that, and there was like I remember I remember that when I was talking to Punch Mom about this, just typing the words couple on honeymoon into Google would just autocomplete with nightmares.
So I want to be
of
really
people just not
really
paying
clear.
attention.
Okay, people at home, your hopes and your prayers don't have any effect on the world. The secret is a fake. However, what this means is that if you see someone balancing precariously on something like an idiot, you can hope something happens guilt-free. Because your thoughts aren't affecting the outcome. You didn't make it happen. You can just, I wonder. Maybe.
The term I was looking for is selfiecide. Yeah.
Selfiecide, huh?
Selfiecide. And yes, of course, Herman Cain Awards has also become a part of the lexicon as well. That was a particular one that was...
That one's crazy because he came back as a tweeting zombie.
Tied to... Yeah, exactly. Like that variant is tied to social media
that's
posts.
That's a wild one.
You know? Wild shit. Anyways.
Hey, this is going on a little long. Could you please wrap this up, sir?
Can we just wrap...
Could you wrap this up?
Wrap it up.
We got shit to get to.
Eiji Aonuma, wrap that shit up, son. Shut the fuck up.
So, I don't want to talk too much on it. Paige's tweet that on the subject actually summed it up pretty incredibly. Two things. Well, Chris Judge ruined it for everyone.
Absolutely.
Ruined it for everyone.
Overcorrection.
A lot of anger being said to the Jeff and those. No, it is Chris's fault. Like, and he fucked that up.
And they went for the bit too. They played him off as a gag to be like, "Oh, you're going on too long, Chris." And he's like,
second of all, there is a human being at the Game Awards that's responsible for timing, and I understand the venue costs, and you gotta timing is hard. But specifically, there were 3 moments that really stood out as just like, oh, this was the wrong decision. Neil Newbon accepting best performance and describing how Baldur's Gate 3 means a lot to victims of abuse and how you are seen, and having to shout over like the music screaming at him is like, Oh, it's bad. It's bad vibes. It's bad vibes.
We have to get to the latest now in Fortnite platform racing commercial.
Sven for Baldur's Gate 3's Game of the Year, as he's describing special thanks to the people on the team that died during development, was the moment the music came in. Right? Oh, those are ghosts.
Yeah, it's.
But my favorite, though, I don't know if you remember, but in the middle of the show, there was a presentation, and I don't remember what game it was from, but a man and a lady got up to talk. And the man said his piece, and then he started to move away from the microphone, and they started to play the music as the lady moved to the microphone.
I didn't catch that.
It's like the music was being quiet, woman. No, silence.
I didn't see that, or I don't remember. Yeah, it's it was clearly just like, okay, last time, like they went above and beyond the Chris went above and beyond the limit, and then it became a whole bit. It became a problem, you know. But the overcorrection at this point was like, you get 30 seconds, I guess. You know, it felt like
it was a manual timer that you got to start a 30-second countdown. But I think they were starting it based off of where they were on the timeline for the show.
Oh, is that okay? Not based on the moment you get out of your seat.
It wasn't like you step up and then they hit the button for the timer, because everyone got slightly different amounts of times. The timer counted down from 30 seconds and then said, please wrap it up, but that was variable.
God, it's whatever, man. Fucking Game Awards.
There are 3 people, however, if you want to, after Chris, you can blame. And that is Jeff Keighley, Peel, and Kojima. Because spending, I don't know what length of time it was, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to say literally nothing in the middle of your show, might have created a crunch on time.
Bestie's privilege. Come on now. The fuck you expecting? Him to you expecting Koji to get played off stage? You wild. I just I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. It's the same old bit, and you know, I've said before that my preference is to wake up the next morning and click play on a couple trailers and see what's going on, you know. But the Game Awards did in fact happen, and you know, like like I like Street Fighter 6 didn't get accessibility award. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Wow, that's wild, you know. But there's that overwhelming sort of like or not overwhelming, but that underneath layer of just like, none of this matters. It don't matter.
See, that's the case, but part of the thing is that it does matter to the people getting those awards
for the recognition.
It clearly meant a lot to Sven and the Baldur's Gate team. It clearly meant a lot to Sam Lake and the Alan Wake team. It unfortunately meant a lot to the Pizza Tower team.
The Pizza Tower team. I saw that screenshot. Yeah, I did. That they looked quite sad about that. And then, you know, you gotta I guess the debate over the things like Dave the Diver and all that. It's like there's no real end to the what is an indie discussion. We just kind of like, all right.
I feel like despite there not being an end to that discussion, everybody's pretty clear on Dave not counting. Which, good thing it didn't win.
Okay, well, speaking of wrapping it up, I suppose. I mean, anything between last Wednesday and now in terms of playing stuff or
Oh yeah, I started reading One Piece on this ebook.
Oh yeah,
it's a Kobo Sage, which I specifically picked out because Kobo Sage is the exact size in terms of screen real estate as a manga page for like a trade volume. So it replicates the experience. It's great. Very much like it. Very much. Yeah, One Piece's shitty art is a lot less shitty in the manga. Boy, that anime looks like crap. Like, holy fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, wow.
Is it like across all seasons, or is it just an early thing?
When I said that on social media, I saw somebody say they only started trying on the anime around episode 900 plus. So it's pretty consistently awful for decades. Now,
So-
I'm aware I'm literally 25 years late on this. Hey, that One Piece is a good read. It's a lot better of a read than I expected. The anime adaptation is quite bad. Like, really, like genuinely bad.
I've never heard anyone say bad. Wow.
Like even from like chapter 1, I'm like, wow, this composition and like color and not coloring, but shading is really nice. It's really nice compared to the anime's bad.
Okay. I feel like I know a lot of One Piece fans that mainly experienced it as an anime as opposed
Well,
to
I mean,
reading
shit,
it.
I did. I watched like 200 fucking episodes of it before I fucking conked out.
Oh yeah, you got pretty far in. Yeah.
I did. I got to the end of Skypiea, which I mean that was all right. I also on Paige's recommendation, I also used Spotify for the first time yesterday. That's nifty.
Yeah.
Listen to songs on that.
You can listen to us.
Yeah, I
We're on it.
originally followed just so I could be like, yeah, there's a follow, but then it kept trying to recommend me myself, and I was like, I'm gonna unfollow that. I don't want to.
You don't want to listen to. You don't want
That's
to.
a bit
Okay.
much.
Well, you are there.
I knew that. I knew that. I didn't know how or how,
Okay.
but I knew that. But that's been pretty much. Oh, and I beat Alan Wake, which, man, they really stick the ending, and I was like, wow, that's crazy that they stuck the ending and still left it on a cliffhanger. And then the night that I beat it, they said, hey, by the way, there's a new ending after you beat it in New Game Plus. And Gene's playing through the first hour right now and saying that it is very different and is changing things in a way that makes you doubt whether or not that was the way they always were.
What did you think of the live performance?
I thought the mixing was off. I thought the vocals weren't loud enough. And I understand that they had to cut it down from 25 minutes down to 9 minutes, down to 5 minutes. But I really feel very happy for Poets of the Fall, who is the band that is pretending to be Old Gods of Asgard,
Okay.
who now have a charting album on iTunes, I think it is. So it's it's a popular Finnish band that has now gotten some world notoriety after pretending to be a fake band in a game about fake things becoming real. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they feel like annoyed that like this fake video game band thing is part of the key to their future larger success. Until I went back in their discography and found out that the first single they ever wrote was for the credits of Max Payne 2.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
then
like
it's there. Yeah.
they're intertwined to the maximum.
I mean, so I remember wondering about that when Maniac Agenda like blew the fuck up after from the Revengeance thing, and to see, I'm like, are they going to kind of embrace being the Revengeance folks, or is that kind of it? Are they going to get tired of that? And like, I don't know that we've heard of anything from them since, but if that's what you kind of become known for, then like it does read right at your existence in the public eye as to what you are. The wildness of that performance though was kind of like, at some point I'm just thinking like Sam Lake is like, he was getting into video games and like interested in being like, I want to make these things and have fun, and like, you know, I'm not sure what he started out as, but like whatever those first steps were, I'm sure they did not envision him doing pirouettes live in front of a stage of people, like from a performance from the latest game, like Smiles, and doing a full-on Broadway musical moment.
A great time.
Like, where the fuck was that on the list of things in your game career trajectory?
So
that was so nuts.
People have gone back and like in 2011 or 2012, whenever it was, but like they made Alan Wake and they couldn't get the money to make Alan Wake 2. Like nobody wanted to, you know, handle the purse strings. And Alan Wake is like visibly very depressed as he put out a low VO package going, we're really sorry, we're going to keep looking, but there's no Alan Wake 2 on the horizon. And he's like lit from the side. He's super depressed. And to see that guy being like, haha, the Herald of Darkness on a fucking stage, dancing and singing in a big fucking Broadway production after winning fucking Best Narrative and Best Directing. Like, man, good for them. That's great. Also, like, Sam's like existence as the dev who put his head on the guy in Max Payne 1 to put so somebody could be the head of Max Payne 1 has like reached into the future in which he's playing 6 characters in Alan Wake 2. Jesus. He's playing Sam Lake, Alex Casey, and Alex Casey. And they're all distinct characters.
And I don't know if the In Control, the masked smoking man, the CEO or whoever was in those tapes.
Trench.
Yeah,
that is played by Max Payne's body actor in that's actually James McCaffrey.
Okay.
Like that's what Max looks like. Okay. So like the overall feeling of like seeing what's his name, David Hare up there going, they're doing it. Like they're going through the trouble to import all these fins to do it. And they had Matthew Pereira there doing the voice, because everyone in that fucking shit is not themselves and being voiced by a different person who also plays an actor in a different thing. It's fucking weird.
Okay, so you're not actually done until you find out what's going on New Game Plus, then?
I would say that's very accurate.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, so I guess for this
and like it's really refreshing because the ending is very substantial and it's very good. But you go, damn, I wish I knew what happened 10 minutes from now. And then they go, New Game Plus will tell you what happens 10 minutes from now. And you, yay. Hooray.
Okay. And so this week, any schedule?
I'm probably going to go back to Alan Wake 2 and see what that New Game Plus is about. And then I'm also doing Rogue Trader on Wednesday. And then I don't know. I'll figure some shit out. We'll see. Okay. What about you, man? What's up with you?
Yeah, not much. There's a game called Kirby Battle Blitz, which is a Kirby fan fighting game that is like made by what appears to be like it's the term that like I've been using is it's a homie fighter, right? Someone in around the lunch room is basically like, yo, what if I made a fighting game and I put everyone in it? All the homies are gonna be in it, right? And like it's that, but like Kirby character theme.
What's the name again?
Kirby Battle Blitz. Made in Ikemen, which is a fighting game engine that is based off of Mugen. And it just basically is like, what if our OCs as Kirby different power versions, and what if Sora but Kirby Sora, and what if Star Platinum, and just JoJo music just dropped right into it, and it's over the top hyper go nuts. It's wild, it's fun, it's completely busted. It's just yeah, taking all the things we think are cool and dropping them into the template that is Kirby. And it's the same thing where like when you when you're yeah, again, I don't know if the team is actually this is what is the case, but it feels like when you make your own Dragon Ball OC, because Dragon Ball characters are already cool. We don't need to redefine, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Starting at a cool point, someone did it, Akira Toriyama figured it out, and now I'm going to put my own little tweaks to customize the hair to make my cool version that I would like of an already cool thing. And similar for like anyone that's like making their own Minecraft OCs and stuff, you're like, well, it's in the world of the thing that I like, that's been taken care of, let me just customize it. And so it's doing that with Kirby characters essentially. Yeah, shit is just like completely busted and made for Twitter combo video notoriety. But like I had a fun time finding some busted shit in it, and it's got a rollback alpha available. So even these indie games off here in the corner being made by groups of fans are like, hey, come try our rollback out, see if it works. So
does it work?
I didn't try. We just played some local matches.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, shout outs to a fast-paced Kirby fighting game. Had a good broken time with it. Shit is completely unfair and busted. Like,
oh yeah.
It was great.
Are we talking like Marvel busted or like DNF busted or like Mugen busted?
I mean, DNF busted.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, like I didn't find any infinites, but I found shit that was so abusive. Like full on like a Kirby that pulls out a giant like Buster Sword and does a Zeros type spin,
right?
That takes up the entire screen practically, and on one touch you just get a full easy conversion to the wall. Do practically an infinite, do a reset, whatever. Like a one character that's like doing new 13 style sword slashes and shit is just able to full screen confirm into a big sequence, do a super that ends in you waking up on top of a round trip that's on top of you, and then you just have to hold it, and then I can just jump to either side or do whatever I want to you, and then do it again because it builds a meter back to keep it going. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to play my game, and then you're going to play your game.
Have fun. Anyways, and then yeah, we did another.
At what point does a fighting game just become Beyblades if both characters are acting underneath that like mentality?
Oh yes, like DNF has become very simply, you got to touch me twice and I'm dead. And there's a character that can touch you once, and it's the most busted shit ever, and it's the most frustrating shit ever because fuck you, touch of death is bullshit. Make it at least 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anyway, we did another check the tapes Street Fighter 6.
Hey, you know this. What game was it that like a super long combo would not kill you? You had to get a single hit after the combo dropped to actually kill.
Oh, well, there's a lot of games that do that. I mean, Marvel has aggressive combo scaling so that if you do a really long infinite, eventually the damage is going to be practically nothing. And then you have to reset them and then touch them again. Like a lot of hyper games do that for sure. But it definitely Marvel 3 is got a scaling like that. Yeah, but the other thing we did was we did check the tapes. So we watched some fan matches in Street Fighter 6 and gave some advice. See how people are going. And that's a fun thing to do too as well, because it's like, we're not gonna be giving you advice that'll take you to grand finals, but certainly if you're anywhere from iron to diamond, and you're kind of trying to figure out what to do, we've got some advice and stuff. And a lot of the times too, like Reggie's like the Reggie's, I feel like fucking hard ass sensei, like do the confirm, learn the thing, do it right. And I'm kind of like, you you can futz around a little bit. I understand what it's like to be human and to fuck up, you know, but like somewhere in between my lenient advice and his hardline advice is something you can follow to improve. So be sure to check out our Check the Tapes series as well. And that's
I find it helpful to try and deplete their energy before you deplete your energy.
This is very good advice. This is a great tip. And then of course the fun part is like you give that advice and then you're like, all right, let's play a couple matches. And you're like, oh fuck, I'm dropping my shit. Oh
All
god,
that advice
oh
is
no,
gone.
what's happening? Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So you know that's pretty much it. So this week, gonna jump back in, try to see if we can wrap up FF9. If not, you know, I think we should be within arm's reach. Maybe 1 or 2 sessions left of that. I'm going to be. I hear that I'm able to get through probably Pizza Tower in 1 other session, so I'm going to see if I can wrap up Pizza
that's
Tower.
fast, huh?
Yeah, it seems like it's not that long, but of course, doing perfect ranking clears is the real challenge, right? So, at the very least, I'm going to see if I can see all the stages. And this week, as of today, I think the Darkest Dungeon 2, the Binding Blade.
Yeah,
DLC
I saw that pop up earlier.
just dropped, so I'm gonna be jumping in to take a look at the new classes. Crusader is back and managed to survive in a world where all the religious types are not doing well, although the Vestal still made it. So we'll see what Renault has been up to. And the Duelist is a new class as well, so gonna check that out. From the description, it seems like it's the 2 classes, and then there's also like a small side quest to go get them, and a wandering mini boss as well. So most of the run might still be, you know,
More or less the same, but hey, new toys,
and hopefully, yeah, if we can do it, you can see a couple of their backstory missions as well, which are some of the best parts of the fucking game. Is every time you get to one of their relics of the past. So. The Binding Blade this week as well. What was that game, by the way, you mentioned a couple weeks ago that's not Stasis Bone Totem, but it had bone in the title?
Do you have any more to go on?
Unfortunately not, but it was bone something. Okay, all right.
Someone will remind us in the chat, I'm sure.
Okay.
Bone Razor Minions.
There we go, thank you. I was searching for bone and I could not.
Listen, you can find bone if you search for it, but
I
may not be what you're looking for.
It's not what I was looking for. Okay, so yeah, come check that out over on Wooly Versus and Wooly Wolves on Twitter. Quick bathroom break, and let's get into some of these announcements. lied. First,
You lied?
we got some sponsors.
I don't. But I love sponsors.
This week, the podcast is sponsored by HelloFresh. You got to
I
get
love you, HelloFresh.
Got to get yourself some fresh ingredients, guys. You got to get yourself some food. You want to eat good. You want to eat healthy. You want to eat stuff that is,
Good for you.
good for you. My wife went out to the grocery store and got some fruits and brought them back, and they were rotten.
They were as fresh as that reference.
Exactly. I'm like, what's the point? You had to go do that, and then you couldn't even tell, and then what you brought back was awful. And I'm like, that sucks. So avoid that. HelloFresh is going to send you fresh ingredients. They stay cold in the box. They use the tech that keeps it nice and cool as it's delivered straight to your door. And you can skip the grocery store, save time, and save yourself the hassle of throwing out like 5 mangoes because you thought, but you were wrong. Terrible experience. Would not recommend that grocery thing. But what I would recommend is you save time this holiday season. You've got a lot of easy, tasty, seasonal recipes. As we are, approaching that Christmas time, you can get some stuff that is, going to help you make back the time you need to go take care of your shopping. You've got 15-minute meals available for you, and the HelloFresh Market has some charcuterie boards, photo-worthy desserts, pantry pleasers, all kinds of stuff that'll help you get ready for your day and or for your Christmas meals as well.
Bro, I love a good charcuterie board.
Right? Or maybe you just need a 10-minute lunch or some snacks for you or for the kids. You got over 45 recipes and more than 100 seasonal add-on items you can choose from every week. So, yeah, it's real easy to find something everyone's going to enjoy. You can cover all types of dietary preferences, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, if you're going paleo, if you're going keto, if you're going just balanced, whatever the case may be. I, in particular, am a big fan of that chicken pesto. We love it. We get that going. And we also got some butternut squash the other day that was real good. I don't have it that often. And I kind of was like, that's been a dark horse in my culinary experience. This butternut squash is real good.
I tell you what, well, if you gave me a butternut squash right now and had me eat it, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was.
So
it's that unfamiliar to Pat.
Yeah, I that's the thing too, is like, it's like, I'm like, is it describing what is it, what part of, is it it's the squash part, but you can get it in different forms, and in this particular case it was inside of a pasta shell, and it was quite nice. Yeah, good stuff. So go to hellofresh.com/superbeastfree and use code super. Excuse me. Let me try that again. Go to hellofresh.com/superbeastfree and use code superbeastfree for free breakfast for life. 1 breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at hellofresh.com/superbeastfree with code superbeastfree. Man, I don't make the deals. I just read what they tell me to, but that's seems crazy. That seems insane. If it were up to me, you'd get a whole lot less than that. So, thank you, HelloFresh.
Thanks, HelloFresh.
The podcast this week is sponsored by Bombas. And if you don't know, you should know, because Bombas is quality socks, quality underwear, good feeling, smooth material that goes against your body. We spend a lot of time concerned about the clothing that people are seeing on the top layer, but the under layer is what you're feeling 24/7.
It's important.
You want that good material. You want these socks that don't like have a hole blown in them because the seams are terrible. And these are the kinds that have gotten rid of that problem. They're form-fitting. They're moisture wicking. You want the underwear that you're gonna scroll past. Yeah, basically, you're gonna scroll past all the garbage ones that you have in your drawer to find your favorite pair because you want to feel good, and you don't want to, have the moisture that naturally occurs be like trapped. It's awful.
I don't like moisture in general. I especially don't like it trapped.
The word moist itself is bad. I think
Bad word.
most people agree. So yeah, socks. Uh, they're also the number one most requested item in homeless shelters. And when you buy a pair from Bombas, they donate a pair to someone in need. One purchases, one donated. They've got ready to go gift boxes with the high quality socks everyone's hoping to get, and they're beautifully designed, so you don't even have to wrap. So if you're looking for someone in your life to gift some high quality socks to, check them out. They've got a 100% happiness guarantee, so super easy returns and size exchanges with no hassle. Go to bombas.com/superbeast and use the code superbeast for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/superbeast. Use code superbeast at checkout. bombas.com/superbeast, code superbeast.
Love you, Bombas.
This week, the podcast is sponsored by ZBiotics. So, yeah, we've all had busy lives and sometimes can't afford to waste a day stuck on the couch because of a few drinks the night before. ZBiotics pre-alcohol is the answer that you've been looking for. After a night with a couple drinks, you might not bounce back the next day. Maybe you used to be able to. I know.
I used to be able to.
I used to be able to, so have you. But that changes over time, right? And
that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah. So you don't want that to slow you down. You can have a great night or a great next day, but you got to pick one. That's the deal, right? But yeah, no, ZBiotics is going to help with that. That's a surefire way to help you feel fresh after a night of drinking with ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic. So ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. And just remember to make ZBiotics pre-alcohol your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. Legitimately, as someone who's taken pre-alcohol before, I remember when I went to Vegas for Evo, and like that's where you're seeing some old friends, and people are gonna you're like, we gotta play the next day, but you're like, all right, let's chill a little bit, hang out and have some fun. And yeah, you have a couple drinks, and definitely I know there's been some years where I've competed and been like, went too hard the first day, shouldn't have done it. And legitimately, having a pre-alcohol was able to mitigate most of that sluggish feeling the next day. I felt like 80% of that feeling was gone, and I'm able to compete and play in the tournament and still drown in pools, but I'm not gonna blame the night before, and that's something too as well that I've actually recommended to quite a few people too over the years. Is just it turns out that the science exists to mitigate the feeling of a night of drinking. So I swear by that. I definitely approve of the fact that the next morning it can not be as bad as it can be sometimes.
Gotten worse as I got older.
Yeah.
From the same events, I'm now paying more on myself.
Yeah, the age part doesn't make it easier, and that sucks because you didn't have to think about it before, but now you actually do. So legitimately, that's where I'm like, yo, I like, I swear by, having the ability to like, yeah, cut that down. So, before December 14th. Okay, so yeah, what you want to do this holiday season is give your family and friends a gift they'll actually want to use with ZBiotics. If you go to zbiotics.com/superbeast to get 15% off your first order when you use SuperBeast at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money back guarantee, and if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no question asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/superbeast and use the code superbeast at checkout for 15% off. Thank you to ZBiotics for sponsoring this episode and the good times.
Thanks, ZBiotics.
Thank you. And last but not least, the podcast
Definitely not.
is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Hey, ExpressVPN.
This holiday season, as you're pounding down potatoes and gravy, I want you to think about everything you've looked at on your phone over the last few days. Hear me out.
Man, somebody over at ExpressVPN
Hey,
is just having a blast writing this
every
shit.
website, every OnlyFans link,
Get out.
I swear to God. Now, who's in charge of the Wi-Fi that you've been enjoying all of that content on? Is it your dad? Is it your sister-in-law? Your grandmother?
Man.
Well, guess what? That person has access to all the crazy shit you've been looking at, unless you do what I do and use ExpressVPN.
Wait, the ad copy person is an individual now inside the ad. I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't get it. ExpressVPN, this is no cap, as the kids say. It's easily. I use it. It's on my browser right now. It's my favorite VPN.
It's incredibly useful. I use it all the time.
They don't need to go so hard on this ad copy.
Listen, man, ExpressVPN is an app that I have on my phone and computer, and it encrypts all of my online traffic, so whatever I do stays private. By the way, if you think incognito mode will save you, think again. It does nothing except hide your history from yourself. If you don't have ExpressVPN turned on, you may as well just click your glass at dinner and read your browsing history out loud for your whole family. The same goes wherever you are, work, home, or traveling. Are you really going to trust your boss, girlfriend, or Airbnb host to respect your privacy?
Hell no.
It's just that simple. I mean, sure, all of those things, but also the ability to not be limited to being in Canada, which is the most useful use case I find personally for it. But yeah, all of that stuff too, you know? So that's why. That's why we've partnered with ExpressVPN to get you a special holiday offer. Go to expressvpn.com/superbeast right now, and you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/superbeast. expressvpn.com/superbeast to learn more. Thank you, ExpressVPN.
Thanks, ExpressVPN.
All right. God bless. All right. So, just to get it out before even the TGAs, this was more of a PSA, but Capcom is now striking YouTube channels that have mods installed on their games. There's now evidence of people seeing a full-on strike coming in. So it doesn't matter if it's single player or multiplayer. The product you own must comply according to their own policy. A strike is not a copyright claim. For those of you who don't know the difference,
fucks your shit up.
A strike is 3 strikes and your channel is deleted. It's manually sent in. It's infinitely worse. And even if you get 1, it drops your channel standing. It drops your ability to... It gives you a lot. It makes you considered a not trusted channel within the algorithm, essentially. So just so anyone knows, basically they're doubling down on that announcement they made the other day and actually going out and like attacking channels based on fucking mods. In the particular instance here, it was a thread by Super Rad Lemon, and I can see that it was flagged not for like a Street Fighter 6 costume or something, but this was Monster Hunter.
Yeah. So the Monster Hunter speedrunning community uses a lot of mods to make their shit go faster.
What do they do?
I'm not familiar, but I'm just aware that they use a bunch.
Okay. That's fucking dirt garbage bullshit.
Sure is.
That is absolute ass. And again, strikes are, we're taking your fucking channel away from you. So everyone, be safe out there, of course. Be careful about that. If you really must see the Kami Kiguru outfit, then do so offline. Do not do so online on stream or on YouTube, because that ain't worth it. And you can appreciate your Chun-Li titties on your own time.
I saw there was a massive thread about this, about people talking about it, and I feel like that Chun-Li nude mod getting on stream is actually, like, usually you point at that and you go, that's just a symptom. I think that might have actually been the straw that broke the camel's back on this situation.
Feels 100%
I always assume
like
they're talking about it inside, but now the guy who wanted to go crazy had something to point to and go, look at this shit.
Well, so Street Fighter V had its entire career, its entire life cycle go with people uploading modded costumes for that shit all day. I mean, the fucking cross Tekken wild mods I showed off back in the day were, you know what I mean? Like, there's been years and years and all this being around forever and it not being a big deal. But that was a tournament event that was, I guess, broadcast as, I don't know if it was officially part of the Pro Tour or not, but it was at the very least considered like a mainline FGC event, and that was on a broadcast stream. So then it broke TOS,
and it made the rounds.
It made the rounds, right? But it's almost like when God, I forget where it was, but it was like there was another controversy of like getting sponsored by like Pornhub or Brazzers. I
don't like that either.
You know, back in the day.
They're not a fan of that shit either.
Yeah, so it just feels like it's like there's things that have been a part of this and have been around forever, but like that spotlighted version that becomes a news story now becomes now that people are talking about it, we got to act on it, and this is the way ostensibly to do it, is to find out what channels are streaming and then fucking strike the channel. Fucking sucks, man. You know, like, I don't, you kind of, when you first hear it, that's the thing, the thought is like, is it for people that are cheating? Is it more about, and it's like, no, it's as simple as if you put a fucking
unauthorized use of whatever the fuck.
Don't put a Supreme jacket on
Leon,
on your favorite character. Don't do it.
Yeah. And it's the reason I specifically single out the Chun-Li nude thing is that they had, like, Street Fighter V came out and people were hawking like just fucked up costumes forever, and also like lots of costumes that the game didn't include. Monster Hunter had tons of mods. In fact, some of the mods for Monster Hunter World made it into Iceborne as like options. It's like that dev team like looked at that. Resident Evil, all sorts of stupid shit for Resident Evil over the long years. But all of a sudden, like 6 months after this, here comes the hammer. And it is the hammer.
And there's a little part of me as well that's like, there's a bunch of people that when they announced Costume 3 and then people saw the prices, there were a number of replies were like, well, over to the mods I go. You know, and you kind of wonder if a part of them were just like, you know, fucking showed you the modern costumes, you know, like because people like, there's immediately there's been a bunch of wild Street Fighter 6 costumes for a while now, and they had like Street Fighter 5 Luke, and they had a bunch of things like that. And there's, you're kind of wondering if like a little bit of that price blowback frustration into this is a way to get around it also informed.
So
some
if
of this,
that was the case, the first people that you'd see getting struck would be people playing Street Fighter 6 with modded costumes instead of the Monster Hunter people.
That's true. Right. We'll see who gets struck. Each strike is manually sent in. It's not like an auto claim thing. So it's not going to be the same as when you upload a song and then every video using it gets marked at the same time. So each one can be taken as a statement that a boardroom of lawyers got together and decided we're going after this particular content. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this. But just a heads up for anyone that is currently unaware, like they're striking.
Also, when did this first start? Like what day?
Well, the post in particular is showing a strike from the 1st of December.
Well, there's your confirmation that Monster Hunter Wilds is the next game that they're going to announce. Because this is their new big project going forward. And so, like, remember when Sega fucking copyright struck everyone that had the words Shining Force in the title of their fucking video?
Yeah.
So that their shitty trailer could get up at the top of the goddamn search results?
Yeah.
Echoes of that.
I wonder. This is the only example I've seen talked about so far. I don't know if anyone else has brought it up. And I guess and the other question too is like, are they going to distinguish between like, are they going to do it to like more prominent channels or less? Is there going to be is there going to be a rules for thee and not for me type situation going on with like whether a certain size of channel matters?
Well, I mean, we'll see if fucking Max and Lythero get hit with all the fighting game nonsense they do on their channels.
Yeah.
Somehow I think they'll be fine.
If I get like I said, I made that Street Fighter Cross Tekken Wild Edition version where I just changed every character into nonsense, and I kept it, and I booted it up over here. So there's the ancient fisticuffs, and then there's the revisit I did, maybe a year or two back or so. If that's the shit that gets me shot, then down I fucking go.
I in the process of this conversation, I went to my Dragon's Dogma playlist and just removed the helpful links to the Dragon's Dogma Nexus within the video description for the shit that I used for that video.
Man, and like it's like the more like. I know that like games like it was Skyrim and Mass Effect and stuff are like super organized modding communities and shit like that. But like, could you imagine if like one of these companies just came out and just went, fuck it, we change our minds. Fuck this, we hate all of you modders, and now everybody's gonna get it. Feel our wrath.
You know what, Wooly? Like, it's really, really funny that you mentioned that. I don't know if you have Starfield Together on the docket this week, but you are almost there. Starfield Together is the Starfield version of a very popular Skyrim mod called Skyrim Together, which has been announced by the team making it that they will not be making it anymore. There's a Discord post with the lead dev talking about how they spent a lot of time when Starfield came out and they ported about 70% of the existing mod over and then sat down and played Starfield and went, what the fuck am I doing? And canceled it. So Starfield as a Bethesda game, a lot of people are so the Bethesda process is Bethesda puts it out and then the modders finish development. The modders are deciding to just not this
Oh,
time
my-
around.
Wow.
So it's the opposite.
Woke up one morning, sipped coffee, rubbed eyes, looked at it, and like, the fuck are we? Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
There's also on that topic. There's a fantastic new Nakey Jakey video. I mentioned the Rockstar's design is outdated video. I think last week, and he came out with a Starfield's design is outdated, and he makes the point that it was outdated like 10 years ago because it's behind even Skyrim in a lot of respects.
Wow.
Nakey Jakey does good stuff. He broke one of his yoga balls in the process of making that video. Go watch it.
Well, maybe if they fixed that, it would have gotten a Game Award.
It would. So I like. There's one thing I feel really bad for Todd and the gang. It was up for best RPG. That was the only category Starfield was up for, which was the most locked in of all the categories. Like there were arguments to be made on any of the other ones, but not that one this year.
But they were there in the audience, right?
They were there.
So that does say something, as were the Pizza Tower devs. So it's not quite a full-on, like, if we see you here, it's because we know you're going to get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can still use your brain a little bit and be like, Idris Elba will not be showing up, right?
He's a JPEG in the nomination thing.
A very handsome JPEG with a white background, just chilling. Yeah. So,
I think maybe the most gracious. So first of all, congrats to Neil Newbon for Astarion. Congrats to Ben for being the obvious other choice that was going to be there and having the grace to have a big round of applause for Neil. And big ups to one Yaoi Lowenthal, who in his congratulations to Neil retweeted a bunch of like gay Spider-Man Astarion art.
oh,
Saying that they would be boyfriends if he could do it.
nice. Okay. Fucking sick meme, bruh. Hell yeah. Yaoi Lowenthal.
Yeah. It just writes itself.
The name is right there.
It's right there.
It was right there the whole time. Oh, how didn't we see it? Damn. I feel like an idiot. It was just there for the taking. It was right on the table. Incredible. All right. Yeah. Well, so in terms of announcements, though, I mean, we don't have to. Whatever. There's the winners and such, but Brothers is getting a remake. That's fucking sick. If anyone enjoyed It Takes Two and A Way Out, the game that Josef Fares got on the map with was Brothers. And it's a really
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was an Xbox Live game back in the 360 era, and it was the same style that they've gotten known for, which is like not asymmetric co-op, but yeah, no, that's correct. Asymmetric co-op. You're playing as two different characters that have different abilities. You're an older brother and a younger brother.
Wait, this isn't co-op, is it?
Brothers?
No, this is single player. You control both.
Couldn't
Each analog stick is a brother.
you but you could play it co-op as well. No? Am I
don't
crazy?
think so. I'm pretty sure it's single player.
Oh man, it's been too long. Okay, I
In
remember.
fact, I believe that the emotional crux of that game relies on it being single player.
Yeah. Okay, no. You're right. It's been a while. I remembered that being a co-op experience, but yeah, each stick controls each brother. Yeah. Well, I guess you could share the controller, but it's
Do that. That's a disaster.
It's very good. And that getting a remake is pretty cool. If you haven't checked it out, I highly encourage it. Some real awesome, like, mechanical and creative design decisions that they do in that game. Some fun stuff. Same as well. So, Inscription creator Daniel Mullins revealed Pony Island 2. So,
More Pony Island.
yeah, so Pony Island was the game that he made before Inscription. I only knew Inscription, but was Pony Island 1 as
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So to some degree, if you knew that work, you could have kind of called out.
Every single piece of work this gentleman does is, hey, it's this. No, it's not, dumbass.
Yeah.
It's actually this.
Meta as shit. Right. So Pro ZD all over the trailer for this Pony Island 2. Interesting. Okay.
Which is funny because like the Pony Island 2 trailer has a bunch of weird meta multi-game shit in it, which is up front this time.
That's what I'm saying. It's on its sleeve. It's showing you a bunch of the variety.
To me, says that there's an even dumber thing underneath all of that.
It all becomes one thing. We go inverted this time.
And Mr. Sungwon Cho is going to be laughing at us playing up his best King Dragon.
I mean, like, you're seeing him in the videos, you're just like, okay, like, like, is he, like, just, like, where's the fake mustache? You know what I mean? Like, are we just, or, like, is it
Dude,
even...
his machinations lay undetected for years.
Like, I like the idea that, he just improvised the script in each of these bits, and then, like, the game was designed around it, you know?
So my only worry with Pony Island 2 is that with all of his games, I hope you have broad tastes, and I hope that the one that you spend the most time on is a type that you really like.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, to be fair to Inscription, right, there was that that patch after the fact, so all is well.
Ooh, excuse me.
All right. Then there was a couple things. Rise of the Golden Idol. Usual June was the game that looked like a Annapurna published, like Thirsty Suitors / Sayonara Wild Heart style game. And then there was combat, and I was like, I didn't expect to see combat.
Yeah, it's like I'm glad to see something like taking like inspiration from like Spider versus like low frame rate stuff. But then she started fighting a glowing neon spider, and I'm like, what? I thought this was going to be about my feelings and getting my period.
Let's
with ghosts.
Yeah, I did not expect to see combo. So I guess we'll see what that becomes. Seemed pretty simplistic in its scope, but you know, I have an eyebrow raised to see what else comes out. We got to see a trailer for Harmonium the Musical, which seems to be a story told entirely with ASL. Seems pretty cool. It'd be interesting if you were able to like learn by just kind of playing and watching and mimicking what you see. And I was kind of thinking, I was like, it'd be fun if there was like an accessibility option that like mirrored the gesture they were doing for the player in the corner, so that you can almost like practice it, you know. But that's a really cool concept that I'm surprised.
If they want to have massive balls, they need to include a version of that game where the only input from the game is the visuals and the vibration of the controller.
Wait, no, that's not the same thing. Wait, I thought you were gonna say like VR finger detection, so that it can like confirm that you were doing the correct ASL song.
No, I'm talking. It's about a little deaf girl who's a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to make that game for real, it should have no sound at
whatsoever.
Just visuals and controller vibration.
Right. Okay. I feel like one decent use case for hand detection and stuff like that, though, and or Kinect style things would be to learn signing.
But isn't that all? You need all your fingers for ASL, right? Like I don't think the hand tracker thing can.
Well, you do
can
both.
Manage that.
There's words that you do that are not fingers, that are just large gestures, and then like you shorthand individual letters into gestures that are like kind of more elbow and up based kind of movements. So, how else are you supposed to sign out Rap God unless you got your full body thrown into it? Then Windblown, right? So Dead Cells is fucking good.
Yep.
Here's Dead Cells creator going, let's do a Hades style multiplayer thing where there's Dead Cells style impact and slashes and action going on. Also, like, just furries getting obliterated left and right all over that trailer. That was
so like
wild.
I saw the furries and I'm like, cool, I guess. And then I saw the furry get like juiced. That's not what I wanted to say. Like pasted.
Sure.
Like just like explodified.
Happy Tree Friends. It was quite like you're like, what the fuck? You're like, oh, look at these characters. Okay, head pink misted. Yeah, all the scrimblows getting pulped up,
getting bimblowed.
But
man, so like we were sitting there and Paige looks at it and she says, "Is that a scrunko?" And I'm like, "Yes, honey, that is a scrimbo bimblo." And as I say that, they're being like eviscerated, which is like ruining my point, because the scrimbo bimblo lovable scrunko would not be desanguinated or eviscerated.
No, in fact, the fact that they're beloved would save them usually from the degloving process.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
But again, trust in Dead Cells on that one, because I fucking I love the weapons in that game and the way that feels. So I'm very curious to see how they do a nice co-op take.
Hey, I'd like to make a complaint. I think you shouldn't be allowed to have a trailer for something in early access that says it's coming to early access later. The whole point of early access is now.
You can't have a trailer for something currently in early access that says it's coming to early access later. Yeah, that's a lie.
Like Hades, it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a trailer said coming to early access soon. That's a lie.
Yeah, no, that fair. Thrasher from the folks behind Thumper, and the overall vibe and style and the logo as well evoke Thumper's aesthetics. So
you want to catch space fish while high on acid?
I mean, Thumper was like so simple in what it was, but just that's all juice making that game feel good and just be fun to play. Like, such a simple thing of like just on off rhythm go, but juice can carry you a long way. Then there was a crossover for Dave the Diver and Dredge.
The crossover I wanted.
I mean, boat.
I would have preferred more content for Dredge.
They just put out that the winter thing though, right?
I know, but Dredge is
more Dredge, less Dave the Diver is the spirit of what you're getting at. But makes sense given they're both water games, I guess.
They're both indie games in the water. Independent water games. Yes. Hey, can you hold on a second? I gotta piss so bad.
Beer bit. All right. I don't know how many people care, but I certainly loved me some World of Goo back in the day.
It's a classic.
I'm very happy that more of that. It's kind of wild to see that it's the same thing. Like 10 plus, no, 2008 to
You
now.
want more fucking goo, losers?
It's more World of Goo, and it doesn't look like it's been, like, it looks like the same thing. We're just doing it again. Art style, same. Music, all of it. It's like they booted up their files, went back to the level editor, and just made some more levels. You know, is the vibe I got there. World of Goo is fucking awesome. From that particular era of like full Wii games that like that and Ivy the Kiwi and Boy and His Blob and Deblob and, you know, like just a particular
a lot of goo.
Yeah, like artsy Wii games that in some cases were full sized when you expected them to be like eShop.
No, World of Goo is a classic. The people are right to be excited for the goo.
I don't know why the soundtrack was so good. It was so incredibly strong for no reason for what the game was. Hope you can engineer your bridges.
I suck shit at World of Goo. I'm terrible at it.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's playing with your toothpicks and trying to build a fucking, you know, again, a structure. And then, yes, Metaphor ReFantazio, totally not Persona. Shut the fuck up. Look at the blue hair. Shut the fuck up.
It's not Persona. Stop saying
okay,
that.
so when they started showing off the environment and they're running around the barren desert like looking area, and I'm like, you're right, it's not. It's SMT5 actually brought into Persona aesthetics. It looks fucking great, man.
It looks great.
I can't wait to just go through all those menus and see what happens, and then study that shit, and then various other UX people looking to see what happens when you.
Have you seen the overworld battle transition that they came out with a couple hours ago?
No.
So it's like an action game. And enemies will have like action game attacks on the overworld field, and if you dodge them and do like a combo on them, you'll start the fight with the equivalent of an all-out attack.
Oh, sick. Okay. Yeah, I will say I have no problem saying as well. Yeah, the name sucks. Metaphor ReFantazio is
terrible.
Not a good name at all.
Awful name.
Yeah.
Extremely bad name.
I mean,
but hey, what are you gonna do?
Project ReFantasy was not the best, but it was more generic. I guess it was also forgettable for completely different reasons. But yeah, Metaphor ReFantazio.
Earwolves, I'm sending you a clip with a timestamp of what I'm talking about.
All right, let me just.
I'll put it in the chat.
Let me just make
this is the official Atlas West YouTube account. Metaphor ReFantazio creator's voice trailer at approximately 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Making sure I'm muted. Yes. Okay. Man, it's so stylish. Okay, so you lock onto something, dodge an attack, and then do a combo, and then the last hit of the combo transitions into battle. Oh my god. Oh, it's so stylish. God damn, it's stylish. Wow. Wow, look at that thing go. And then when you get hit or ambushed, or you ambush the enemy
with the squad.
Yeah, and then it does a big like close up dramatic zoom on the character's face as you're like doing the attacker. Wow. Fuck me, man. So good. Okay. Yeah,
it looks nice.
Yeah.
Terrible name. Awful name.
Matthew McConaughey walked out and revealed that he
couldn't get the game rights to Interstellar.
So here we're doing it ourselves. Like it's like they're showing you the astronauts, they're mentioning time dilation, and you're like, wow, like All right. We're not even going to pretend that it's like, oh, slightly thematically related to things that you know him for. Fucking, we're doing it ourselves. Shut up. And we're not allowed to use big, heavy horns, so. Yeah.
Instead of blah, it'll be a flute going.
And you know what? He came out and he mentioned Texas, so his job is done.
I'm from Texas.
Is he? Are you sure?
McConaughey looked like he had emerged from his car.
I mean,
like his energy was like, I woke up, did a line on the dash, and now I have to do this thing.
and you know, and he's got the big T on his chest too already as well. Yeah. Look, it's gonna take a lot more than fucking Muse to sucker me into. Oh god damn it! When did I start Let's Playing this? What happened? Where am I? They dropped a little supermassive black hole, and then they split it up so that when I tried to sing along, I couldn't. The lyrics stopped, and I was like, "Fucking." Yeah. Hey, free DLC: God of War Ragnarok Valhalla
Freeze the best price of all.
out next week.
Yeah, that's fun.
So that's this week.
Good. That game's combat is good enough for a Bloody Palace mode.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. So it's a roguelike mode where the enemies will have different conditions and they'll be rearranged.
And like, yeah, and it feels like Ragnarok Valhalla is like the only obvious thing you could have possibly.
Well, it feels like if there was a third game, they would have had the second game be named Valhalla and the third game would be named Ragnarok. But I mean, they're going to leave the setting after this. So, okay.
Yeah. Like, it just as easily could have been God of War Valhalla Ragnarok, right? So, cool. Free LC is good. Untitled Goose Game devs House making big walk. And it looks like a Keita Takahashi game. It just looks like
it does. It looks like Nobi Walk.
Yeah, it just seems like you're hanging out with some cute friends and you're all just chilling.
And you're that bird?
You're the bird that's drinking the water. Yeah, the water drinking bird. Community. Sure. There's always got to, like, I assume that it like, the thing with it is that Keita Takahashi will design the world, the characters, and a couple of mechanics, and then leave it alone because he's like, well, I made a toy. I don't care about it being a game. I want it to be a toy. But I assume that that the Goose Game folks are gonna, you know, have it do a couple other things. But I trust him. That show was fun. It was good. Another trailer for Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. That game looks fucking sick. I love the traversal. I love the traditional Prince of Persia camera point of view, wall climbing, jumping, moving around, etc. Time fuckery, and then seeing it in combat, it was pretty sick as well to see, like, setting a return point, attacking on one side, and then using it to, you know, continue the sequence from both sides and shit. Like, it looks pretty sick. I like what I see from that. So I feel like we've been seeing it for, you know, marketed at each one of these recent game shows and stuff. But yeah, it's, if Prince of Persia is gonna exist in that style of form while Assassin's Creed is, you know, the flagship, then sure, that's what it used to be, minus the time fuckery.
It looked good, but I've been so burnt out on Ubisoft for so long that I'll have to. I'll see if my emotions can sort themselves out upon release.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, like, I also was like, hey, look, it's 2D Assassin's Creed, and they're going to China, and they're doing, you know, like, it's like,
and those games were great.
You know, but yeah, I'm hopeful at the very least, because
hey, fuck all that shit. Skull and Bones is out in 60 days.
Demo coming out this week. And then February, is dropping.
I bet this game they're contractually obligated to release and have been jerking themselves around on for 10 years is going to be so good.
Well, like I asked as watching, I'm like, is this going to, like, has the nation of Singapore been destroyed in the process of releasing this game, or are we out of the woods?
I feel like if the game bombs and also sucks, Singapore is going to sue them anyway.
I mean, that's probably happening. Yeah. Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. Again, love the first one, real good, and it's nice that like the Ninja Theory logo is like, it's like a positive association now.
Yeah, hey,
look at that. Hey, you guys are up to some shit. You know, I legitimately, yeah, I was like, I remember we'd see that logo, and it used to just be like fucking stifled guffaws and.
Also, hey, shout outs to weird European shit having a cool aesthetic for that band's performance.
For sure.
Get a bunch of druids up on stage. Why not?
They did it last time as well. Works really well. And you know that like this game with its binaural audio has always been like really awesome with that element, and then the faces and the details and such with the characters are really strong. But like that extra gap across the uncanny valley is caked with mud and dirt.
Yeah, just fuck up, just make the characters filthy
The
so that a lot of the
dirtiest
smaller
faces.
details are hidden by super high-end dirt. And I know what high-end dirt looks like, and video games do really good high-end dirt.
Absolutely.
It's a good idea.
Cake them in fucking guck. Yeah, Senua's Saga. So yeah, the first one was really solid. Excited for that. What was the other one? Oh, Ikumi Nakamura came on and showed off Kemuri, and
Which looks cool, but also doesn't look like anything.
don't know what it is yet. I saw some city ninjas doing stuff, and the Ghostwire Tokyo style, like doing mystical ninja shit in a modern setting, vibe was certainly there, but we don't know what perspective or genre or anything about the game is. But it looks stylish, you know. We'll see. I heard that you called it woolly bait. I would say that's not quite true. But
No, my chat called it woolly bait, and I said yes, chat, it's woolly bait.
Okay. Well, no, you guys are I not quite. There's stuff like I'll let you know.
What, urban ninjas? You like ninjas, and you like urban stuff.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like
You liked the Jet Set Radio.
yes, and I will let you know in anything that looks in that style. That's absolutely woolly bait. I'll tell you right off the bat when it's coming in hard. This
You are a known purveyor of the idea that Japanese games are just better.
superior even entirely.
Man, that image is going around again. It's so funny.
Subscribed to one of these fucking channels,
It's like these are good channels.
the Holy Kamiya.
And then on the left is like one of their favorite games is from one of these franchises, and all those franchises are really good.
You probably fucking listen to Sphere Hunter.
Yeah, what? You watch a Resident
Okay.
Evil video there, weeb?
Like, amazing, you know, just boo, a fucking meme. I don't want none of this Western shit.
I love it. It's
but the
fun.
Japanese version,
Every year it comes around,
It does.
and every year it's so funny. Hey, so somebody did some digging. The first instance they can find of that image is on our subreddit. So from 2020, which was when Last of Us 2 was coming out.
Okay.
So that is probably one of our people getting mad at us and then just going down the friends of the channel like list and going you and you.
Yeah. We're not exactly beating the allegations when you type in Japanese game or company, and that subreddit is the second result for
It's the
multiple
second result for a lot of things.
for multiple things.
It's the second Devil May Cry result.
Yep.
I think it's also the second Resident Evil result.
I think it's second Bayonetta. I think it's just the second result on all things, man. Incredible. Well, Anyways, no. Y'all are not on the mark with that, but nice try. I'll let you know. I will let you know when I get fully baited.
Okay, so Wooly, you like Jet Set Radio. What if instead of this game that I thought kind of looked like it, you instead had Jet Set Radio?
Literally. Yes. So there you go, right? We get the confirmation with that. I mean, honestly, like, good shit for them announcing like 5 things at once, and it's all just here's a screenshot of the game in act. Here's videos of it in action. Here's crazy.
And they all look, at least at a glance, pretty good,
right? Crazy Taxi coming back, Golden Axe. So Streets of Rage is already back, but why not be backer?
Why not have it come back again?
Why not be more backer though?
So I was watching the trailer and I saw all the games in 3D and I'm like, that makes sense. And then they cut to Shinobi in like super high res 2D assets. I'm like, yeah, that's the right decision for Shinobi.
Yeah. Although I still have fond aesthetic memory for the Shinobi 3D with the stupid long scarf. Absurdly long, ridiculous scarf.
Did you see the interview some people at Sega did about like what was the impetus for these 5 games? It was that like Sonic Frontier did really well, and Sega became convinced that there was a big audience for Sega games.
Wow.
And it's like Sonic Frontier is the first Sonic game you let have a regular dev cycle in like 15 fucking years.
Oh my God.
Like Sega just literally forgot that they can make real video games.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's so annoying. God damn it. Okay, well, we're here now. That's fine.
Did you see that?
But
that interview went on to include Virtua Fighter.
No, I
by
didn't.
name.
No, what was said?
I think that might have been Gene's interview, but I'm not sure. Basically, they're looking for. There are more games than these ones that they are looking actively at. And Virtua Fighter is mentioned specifically. That was your interview, Gene. Thank you. Thanks, Gene. I appreciate you asking for me. As to the response is Virtua Fighter's very realistic. It's not very dramatic. We're looking at what we can do to make it more exciting and more dramatic. So, team keep Virtua Fighter boring is dead. If and when Virtua Fighter comes back, it will be more dramatic.
But the words were described as looking, as in
they're
currently
actively looking at Virtua Fighter and what to do with Virtua Fighter.
The folder is open.
So something will occur.
Something will happen.
When? Who knows?
Bro.
What?
Bro,
Yeah.
They're getting heat moves. I'm sorry. They're getting heat moves.
They should. So that putting heat moves in VF would be just like the Tekken Supers and all that stuff. But they should call it heat moves, and you should glow with blue or red energy.
Absolutely.
And Kiryu should be there.
I mean, what's the fucking... Kiryu brings the heat system with him into the world of Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a bar now. God damn, dude.
Because, like, Kiryu doesn't have magic. He just kicks so hard fire happen, you know? And the fire isn't real. It's just, you know, a visual.
But the spirit feels it 1,000,000%.
But yeah, no, it's like... I didn't expect to see all of these things. And when they started rolling them out and you see the names, I didn't expect them to look good. So that was exciting.
Prepare yourself for the announcer to scream, "Heat action KO." You know?
You know, it's so stupid because it's been like 20 years. But like Sega has just as much crazy shit in their pocket as Nintendo ever had. The best arcade games of all time.
I think that... Are they just behind them, or is it the same?
whatever.
They're right up there. They're right up there.
Like
Nintendo, Sega, and Capcom are like a fucking
just the
Disney roster.
Best arcade games of all time.
Beloved.
Just languishing in obscurity.
Absolutely beloved. And all they had to do was allow one Sonic game to just exist normally.
That take like 2 years instead of like
one
in 9 months or whatever the fuck it was.
And of course the manias and stuff is like, yeah, but that's the small peanuts. That doesn't count. Even though we're getting amazing animation and perfectly faithful sprite work. Fuck that. That's incredible. Well, hey, so those leaks of Jet Set Radio were confirmed, right? We saw the little screenshot or video here and there that popped up that someone wasn't supposed to see. Dope. All right. Yeah, there's a whole lot of announcements. So I mean, we don't have to go one by one through them.
We should probably talk about OD.
For sure. But hold on. We can, before we open the doors, we can open up my asshole a little bit.
What's that?
So that it gets blown out by a metal scream fucking returning character with a gun.
You know, it's funny, Wooly, because you don't often make like really hard foot down like statements.
I often give myself an out. In fact, I even said at one point very quickly in last week's segment as like, unless I'm wrong, in which case I don't know. But
it's like this is like the first time in like 2 or 3 years that you were like so adamant that it was so fake. You were just like totally dismissive.
I really didn't feel it. I really thought I was right on that one.
And it's like that level of confidence like was so strong that it just multiplied the humor.
One might even describe it as a slow and insidious killer.
And like to the point where I saw a version of that conversation that was like subtitled so that you could watch it with the sound off.
Yes, because so there's a lot of people that have been waiting for the episode that you might have missed the initial, because I already acknowledged this back during the show, and then again when we did get into fighting games. So, this is part 3 of the conversation, but either way, I really, really thought that was a fake-ass screenshot, as did some of Twitter as well, and couldn't be more wrong. It was a real screenshot taken blurry camera style by someone at an odd angle, and it was exactly what was depicted, no more, no less. And anyone that had been making leaks in the fan art community and stuff was just not involved here at all. That shit's real. Elfelt's here, I thought.
And it's like, there's one thing about it that's really funny because you were completely right, which is like, Elfelt is in Bridget's pose.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
So like, I could see it, but also like, I guess, I mean, on the face level, Strive's art style is not that distinctive when you're just pointing it at a character's head and pose. That's why they got all them fancy anime clothes.
But the rest of it comes together, though, into a pretty cool design ultimately. And I think unfortunately, it doesn't stand out as much as some of the other designs do for like an update to a character. But she can't be a bride forever, right? Like her design
that wouldn't make any sense.
It doesn't make much sense for her to be that. So like, but I like that it's like, okay, so now with her being like a metal singer, it's like an homage to her husband that she left at the altar when her programming took over and all that. And the fact that they strivified her moveset, right? So she went from being, I mean, she looks like she's still a very strong character, but in the original Exurd and then in Rev, she had such cheap, insanely oppressive like moves with her ability. Every character that was among the Ramlethal and Elfelt and the Valentine sisters homaged a different genre. And Elfelt homaged FPS games. So she'd pull out her shotgun, she'd pull out her sniper rifle, and do a lot of gun plays and throw grenades and shit. Before, they made it so that she could freely throw that grenade or freely aim the gun or just blast you down point blank with the shotgun while doing cheap shit, essentially. Just really hard to deal with oppression. And now it's more controlled, but also Happy Chaos is the real gun. So
yeah, Happy Chaos versus Elfelt. What type of game am I playing now?
I mean, her gun is nowhere near as insane as his, but it's still pretty cool. She shoots a bullet out that goes for a little bit and then tracks to your location, you know? And then she's got a Rekka sequence, so she's got like a baked in kind of, if you've ever seen Noelle in Blaze Blue, she has the gun kata stuff that she's doing equilibrium style. She has that. So like overhead, low, you know, reset, as an easy to do sequence that if you're a brand new player, that shit's gonna fucking
die.
You're gonna melt, or if you're using her, it'll carry you right away. She has a very easy to use input one button, input the next one, and she'll just do a string of attacks in a row, and they'll be baked in like highs, lows, mix-ups for you. But you know, obviously, like it's not a perfect situation, and you can like hit in between. But very, very strong looking. Her theme song sounds pretty cool. I'll take a closer look once we do a special. We're gonna have a Guilty Gear player, Test Your Luck. One of the strongest players is gonna come over, and we're gonna go back over all these new characters. So yeah, but absolutely, just creak that shit wide open, blown the fuck out. Shows me for making a proclamation. When I, like you said, I almost never do. I usually give a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, the first one in like a year, 2 years, bam, explosion.
You know? And for the exact reason of you never fucking know. But there you go. All right?
All right, back to believing all leaks.
Every single one confirmed.
Every single one.
I mean, again, I still want to believe in Ultima's little Ragnar the Blood Edge insert into Guilty Gear at a weird angle. You know, it might happen. Fucking OD, the thing was leaked. Speaking of leaks, OD was leaked a while ago, and then revealed now again, sort of, but horror.
Revealed by the, you know, if you look really carefully at Jeff, you can see in the reflection of the drool coming out of his mouth as he stares at Kojima. Secrets for the game.
And the eye reflection, of course, in the trailer. I'm sure you can probably get more secrets in that. I'm happy.
Are you joking? Do you not actually know
the opening door?
No, there is actually like overt stare at the character's body, and there are secrets in there that people found this morning.
Have they cracked the secrets? I haven't seen them yet. No.
Yeah, okay. So OD is the genius Kojumbo, and Mr. Peel coming out of the scary PT door.
I mean, so I was gonna say that one, we now have hard confirmation what the N in SAND stands for. And just for anyone that can or did appreciate it, he's using the fucking "I Got 5 on It" remix from Us as his theme song.
That's his slasher theme now.
That's the best thing to happen. I'm so happy about that.
So they come out and they say it's called OD, and we're gonna use the cloud, and it's gonna be crazy, yada yada yada. And it's Udo Kier, and I don't know the lady actress that starts the trailer off, but saying the phrase, "The hungry purple dinosaur ate the kind zingy fox," etc., which you're like, what the fuck is that? But I was sitting there going, that sounds like the quick brown fox
jumped over the lazy dog.
Yeah.
The sentence you say to type out every single
is what's called an alphabetic pangram.
It's you get all 26 letters in one sentence.
Right. The hungry purple dinosaur is a phonetic pangram, which means it uses every phoneme in the English language.
Interesting.
So we're already going to the pun nightmare zone, because we're back to the pieces of language being the core. But if you stare really hard at Udo Kier's mouth while he's talking, you'll see 5 letters Atami, which spells Atami, which is the name of a town in the, what prefecture is it? The Shizuoka prefecture to the
Shizuoka.
southwest of Tokyo.
Okay.
In the kanji, you can literally translate Atami to 3 words, which are quiet, silent, and hill. So OD likely stands for overdue. And during the announcement, they said that there was way more big names working on this game than they were ready to reveal just yet, which may be referencing Ito and Del Toro.
Oh my, okay.
Shizuoka is literally Silent Hill. Fuck off.
Okay. Hold up. Wait. Because I was about to I'm getting ready to say, I'm happy to hear that he's working on another game besides Death Stranding 2. Because like, I was like, Death Stranding, cool, we can revisit it, that's dope and all, but I'm really interested in what other shit he's got cooking, including whatever the fuck horror game this is going to be. There's direct reference there. So him going back to Konami and working on PT for reals?
No, I don't think he's going back to Konami.
So then I
think this is called OD. This isn't PT.
So
this
then
is OD.
But okay, so the fact that Silent Hill is a part of that name is just,
I mean, I didn't see the word Silent Hill trademark.
So we're Quiet Mountain then.
Yes, we're Quiet
We're
Mountain.
Quiet Mountain. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I thought the implication that
it's gonna star Alex Casey.
I thought the implication that was being made there is they're secretly implying that this will be an official Silent Hill release.
No, they're
which is like
implying
that doesn't make any sense with what they're currently doing at Konami.
They came out of the PT door.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
The symbology or whatever you want to call it is fairly overt.
We're doing what PT would have been, but we're doing our own version of it. Fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is just not place it in a town called Silent Hill.
Great.
That's literally all you have to do.
Great. And,
Low volume ridge. That's pretty good.
We had plans to make you shit your pants. We never got those to fruition. So Death Stranding was able to build the money in the capital to spend on making you shit your pants now.
Mm-hmm.
And this time around, we got Jordan Peele around for it too. So we got Totoro-san. We got Ito. Damn. If that's actually the case, and if Guillermo and everyone from before is still around and involved,
Guillermo and Ito are my assumptions.
If that's actually still happening, this game is gonna be fucking insane, dude.
Or awful.
Oh, it might be the star-studded and therefore nothing of substance actually happens because it's too focused on smoking a fake cigarette to be a real game.
The soup is not so good with too many hands.
Oh, but those individual hands are really cool. We like those hands individually. Maybe the hands will meet up and there'll be hands across America, and then we can just. Yeah, if they're just straight up being like, well, I'm not putting my PT concept to waste. Good enough. Let's go.
I just saw someone in the chat say that Kojima needs a game to bomb to humble him. And I'm like, there's no, it's too late now. It's so like one, like if
are you insane?
It's too late.
Like, it would never. His next game would be all about how trying to bring the message of his last game didn't work, and he would be spending extra time inside himself now, like just going nuts on
Like-
you missed his message though, and communication is the problem, and now it might be about people who cannot understand certain things. Maybe you're missing your senses. Maybe you might be deaf to the signs.
But like Death Stranding is like so weird and so actually niche, right? Like it's so like it's like a super big budget like early access title from an experimental guy out of like Ukraine, you know, like and that did well.
Like any thought that a bomb would humble him instead of making him quadruple down the next time is insane.
or you know what would happen, like let's say OD is like a massive failure and everybody hates it, like you're gonna get like enough people like talking on the internet that he will see going, you people just can't see this genius.
He will make
you're too stupid.
He will make
for this sorcery.
He will make the next one that gives everyone all the things they're complaining about for the current one, and then just rip that shit away from you after the intro sequence. Like, he'll let it play out and give you all the things you're like, it should have been this, it should have been that, and it'll be all about that, and then it'll go right back to what he wants it to be. Fuck, man. Don't test him, bro. Don't do it.
So, like, man, what do you, like, what can you even say online that would, like, measure up to, like, Peel, like, looking at his shoes in excitement,
right?
Going, oh, man, I love Kojima so much. I'm so excited.
And
like big Hollywood scary director.
And don't forget the part where 10 years after the bomb, everyone goes, God damn it, that game was amazing. It was brilliant and it predicted the future. Like, don't forget that part of the timeline too, right? Where he ends up being righter than ever. Needs a bomb to humble him. You out of pocket. You wild. That's fucking...
Man, we're not going to see shit about that game for at least a full year. Remember, like, getting crumbs of Death Stranding shit? How long that was?
Well, here's the thing, too. Now that the game has been announced and, like, the leak stage is out and this is the project exists, everything from here until, not maybe release day, but let's say the final trailer, everything from here forward, including the playable demo we will get, is all lies.
You mean the operational demo?
The operational demo that we will be getting will be all lies. Every trailer, every interview, every announcement. The only thing confirmed will be the people, the credits, and perhaps the actors involved. Don't believe nothing else.
Norman Reedus coming out and being like, I worked on this for 4 years. I don't think I'm in the game. I don't get it. And then someone has to tell him, Norman, that's Death Stranding. I'm like, oh, right, yeah.
And, you know, like I
want to go ride motorcycles? Now, calm down, Norman.
And like I said, there's pictures of fucking Timothy Chalamet walking up to the Ludens statue and taking a photo. So he was chilling over there. You know?
He was.
I was saying during the show that I'm like, but this is the part where, you know, before Kojima can send that email off to the big Hollywood starfucker folder to try and get whatever he can get on his side, Jordan can step in and be like, hold on a minute. I'd like to introduce you to John Boyega. I'd like to introduce you to Vivica Fox, you know, just like get some sick ass casting choices together there.
You know, I don't usually think about this kind of thing, but like the idea of like Peele introducing people in his like famous person circle to Kojima who speaks no English and they don't know who he is, and seeing the fucking like elevator pitch on why this guy next to me is really cool when there's no communication.
But like at the same time, the idea of, again, Kojima sitting in a room with Pam Grier and like the week before he watched Jackie Brown and now he has thoughts on it. And when he tweets out a big long paragraph about how much he liked the different things in it, as opposed to just saying he saw it. You know? I want to know. I want to see that world. God damn it, dude. This is gonna be something. Here's what it will be. Whether it's fucking absolute dumpster fire or the hottest, craziest shit ever, we will be talking about this for the next 10.
Yeah, probably.
It's just what it is, man. God.
We're back to memes, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Like,
we're back to following this dude around and just fucking hanging off of every little.
what word jokes are here? Maybe if I read these a certain way, I'll be able to figure out who has a ghost in their ass.
An entire career built in the shadow of one man and his jacket.
You know, I forgot
Talking about gourds.
Well, it wasn't you because we had a different conversation. But there was a conversation I had like 8 or 9 years ago in which someone was like, I hate how they changed the arm to be a robot arm. I felt that retcon was stupid. And I'm like, no, that's not a retcon. It was an arm being inhabited by a ghost. And then he replaced it with a robot arm and then faked being controlled by a ghost
to himself so that he could convince himself.
As I was saying those words, I was like, what am I fucking talking about? like holy shit.
Yeah. All right. OD. I mean, there is confirmed at the very least that like OD is also just in the New York parlance. It's like that shit was sick. That was over the top. That was overdone. That was.
Are you telling me there's the potential that this game's title has multiple meanings?
Oh my god.
Did you know that strand means beach?
It's like there's maybe there is the like the Brooklyn version, and then there's also the Japanese OD, and then there might even be the Guillermo del Toro can bring some other. There might be an international flavor to it. Who the fuck knows?
I'm gonna say right now, I'm putting a prediction on the table. I expect there to be an audible voiced conversation in this game about Garfield's roommate dog, Odie.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking of Odie the dog while we were just talking just now, and I'm like, yeah, that, I don't know where that fits, but yeah, it could come up as a Kodak conversation.
In there, and you will hit it, and you will be like, give me a break.
In a world with Princess Beach, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Like, that whole sequence feels like somebody in the team should have got up and walked over to his desk and just stopped him. That whole fucking thing is so ridiculous.
We will be hearing Ode to Joy. We will be or someone will discuss it at some point. It's some reference in some way. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone's high on drugs. Best not OD.
Oh no. Okay. It's literally just we have another decade to fucking crack this shit open.
Sure, there's gonna be somebody with a jacket on in that game that says "Never be game odor."
There might very well be a character named D.O.
No, there might be. Hey, Willie, I was trying to ask my stream the other night, and I could not figure it out. Which one of us said that the S in strand stands for strand? Was it you?
Yes,
I feel like
yes,
it was you.
yes. Did you know? Did you know that the S is
absolute height
when we were playing it? Yes, that's what. That comes from the LP.
Oh, it does.
Oh, God damn it.
The S in strand also looks like a strand. Ooh, it's a squiggle. Look at it.
Okay.
man.
All right. Yo, man, like, I can't pretend that, like, every time we take a look at the big FF7R2 fucking footage and shit, there's always a little something of less like, god damn it, I'm so fucking. I had so much fun with that first one. I'm really excited to play the second one, and I know that we're overplaying the Sephiroth card, and there's just nothing we can do about it. It's just we're milking that cow till it's fucking dry. But I'm nonetheless. I can't wait to see the next sequence. And hey, I mean, we saw Dine looking exactly the way Dine should look. Like, it's one of those, like, oh, you up-res his face to, and it's like, yep, that's what the...
You just put him in the next generation box.
That's what your brain auto-completed. That's what his face looked like.
And embiggened him to good graphics.
You know, Sid looking there like Sid, like the 30-year-old that he is.
I'm trying to find a somebody who went through the website, because I'm trying to find a description of an incredibly niche character that they showed off in that trailer that now has like a name. It's like dubious. Oh, here it is. Solemn Gus. The head of the fucking prison underneath the gold saucer,
Solemn Gus,
has been given like a massive speaking role and a fucking new model.
Okay.
And here I'm sending you a photo of Solemn Gus here. This guy has like 8 lines of dialogue.
Oh, that guy.
FF7.
Yeah, that guy. Okay, him. Christ almighty. And you know, it's Vincent, everybody. What are you gonna do?
And Sid's there. And you're going to go out on a date with Barrett.
And
Cloud's fucking dead for sure.
and we got a new song. Yeah.
You see them posting like tweets about like the moment where Aerith's about to get stabbed, and they're like, what could happen? It's like it's just the most I think the biggest twist they could possibly do is have everything go off the same way it
The
did last
exact
time.
same way. The twist is actually the unexpected straight punch.
Like you get all the way through the end of the game and it's all been different and things are changed.
And it's building
then
up.
The only moment you thought was going to change
And
ends
it
up
goes
going
down
exactly
the exact same way. Yep. That would shake everybody. That would get everyone going like, wait, what? Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm.
That being said, like I'm like 100% convinced that somebody else is gonna die, because in the original plot, like Aerith's death is the reason why Sephiroth loses. Like it is a 1-to-1. Like it's his big mistake in his plan.
I hope that Zach's gameplay will have enough Crisis Core reference in it as a replacement to be pretty cool to combo through with the rest of the team in this system.
I bet we are going to have at least 2 sequences in which we have to wheel Cloud around.
Yes.
In the wheelchair.
Yes.
When he's all like blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want those noises to be the same though.
That's gonna be tough
in this super detailed, realistic world. Yeah. FF7R2.
They did a big musical performance and trailer, and then they were like, "What's the most anticipated game, losers?"
Yeah. Warframe update.
Yep. Featuring One fucking Ben Starr and Neil Newbon as characters in this update.
Oh, no shit. Ben Starr's in it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for him.
Ben Starr's playing the main character of Warframe 1999, and Neil Newbon apparently is playing some kind of fucking talking space fish. I don't know about that, but and then they'll kiss.
And then Clive and Asterion kiss. Yes.
Then they'll kiss.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Apex, Final Fantasy. Derp.
That was so weird.
Hey, fucking Blade by Arcane Lion.
The French studio, not the other one.
So I haven't played their games, but like I imagine pretty good fit, although usually stealth is part of the deal, right? Although not for Deathloop.
Well, Blade can do stealth too.
It can.
Yeah, Deathloop had stealth.
Oh, did it? Yeah, okay. So that's an unexpected collaboration. Pretty cool.
It is people are unsure in the chat. It is going to be third person.
Oh, sick.
You will be able to see the Blade Man.
Fuck yeah. That's cool. I maybe if this game is on time, it will come out in coinciding with the forever delayed Mahershala Ali movie.
Oh, that's not going to come out. I have no faith in that.
It says 2025.
It says a lot of things.
It
says Blade is in it.
I'm surprised.
But I don't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, look, no, but I'm surprised that like they'd go straight up to be like, oh yeah, let's reinvigorate and give him a game right off the bat. Like I felt like they would want to, test the waters of putting the movie back out and getting people to care about Blade again before going into it. But
no, people like Blade.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Blade's tool set fits perfectly in with like the Dishonored formula.
Cool.
Running around, jumping, doing not quite teleports, but like, there was in Dishonored 2, you had what is essentially a grappling hook. Melee combat, crossbow combat, gun combat from Deathloop. Like,
yeah.
Like I could, like, when they announce something and you can just grab a character,
the
and
IP
put them
and just drop it into place.
And
yeah.
then just pull the camera back. Yeah, you can do that with this.
All right, there you go. It's just fucking up some vampires. Mm-hmm. Super cool.
And it's the French studio that makes good games, not the Texas studio that makes bad games.
Wow, that Blade movie was announced in 2019.
It sure was.
God damn. Well, it's another 2 years. When they were showing off some of that stuff, there was that one trailer that had like grappling into mid-air shooting down above the Titan looking thing, and I thought that was looking sick. And then the Nexon logo popped up.
Trey was Austin. Oh, now I'm sad. Oh.
And it's like, well, serves me right. Light No Fire. shout outs to the tweet. He retweeted it.
I saw it. It's good for you, Sean. Good for you.
Okay, Sean. Don't overpromise. Just say we've been working on something and show some clips.
You can explore a level as big as the Earth.
I'm making Earth.
It's better than the Earth. It's bigger than the Earth.
So he retweeted that and just wrote, fuck. Cheers. As he was doing it, like I'm watching and you're seeing Jeff's fucking smile on his face as he's like, okay, all right. And he's just handing him that shovel, and it's like, there's no wrap it up for Sean Murray. Keep it going. Whatever you want to say, baby. Dig. Let's go.
So that being said, I looked at the Light No Fire trailer a couple of times.
Great name.
And
I love that name.
Very good name. It is very clearly built on the back of No Man's Sky. Like the way you see people walk around, the specific type of environment clipping when you see a dragon flying around.
It would be
Like,
fiscally
this is
irresponsible if it weren't for all
It
the
would be.
the time and work they put in.
And I look at this and I go, despite the fact that I love space a whole lot, this is actually much more appealing than the No Man's Sky.
One detailed planet.
Yeah. Especially since they're like, instead where No Man's Sky was like putting multiplayer in there was like kind of pulling teeth. This one is clearly designed as a multiplayer experience, like first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I definitely want to see more of like the fictional settings and the wild things going on. I'm sure some of it will have like Spore vibes as well.
It kind of looks like what I wanted Valheim to be, if you remember Valheim.
Oh yeah, where you're with the building and the resource tree chopping, etc. And it is admittedly it's not a sci-fi setting, right? Like it's
no, it is
magic
overtly
and
fantasy.
Yeah, so
but it looks like an overt fantasy in the same setting of No Man's Sky. Like there's enough design elements, including the game's logo, that like it almost feels like maybe this is just one planet out of the way in No Man's Sky that nobody got to. Just the way the trees look and the way the terrain kind of looks, because it's in the same engine.
Yeah, it's funny how like both that like that is such a Western video game title, and Metaphor ReFantasio is just the peak Japanese title. like these are the exact antithesis of each other in naming convention,
Well, because they're both in English. One is like a native speaker using like an idiom for their purpose, and the other is cool words. Words are cool.
God damn it, man.
And I love it. I love that Metaphor has a terrible title.
It's so bad. Like,
I love shit like Zone of the Enders.
Oh, that's fucking hype. That's hype though.
But it sucks, dude.
I love it. But I'm like, there's also, well, anyway, it's the re-zero Undernight in birth, just everything that is just the letters as an aesthetic as opposed to what they actually say or mean. And
Pardon.
like, yeah, and it captures it so well here, damn. Well, I feel like Simu Liu came out and like, I mean, he tried. It's like, hey man, what are you here to announce? Oh, okay. Well, GG's. Stormgate or whatever. And then he's like, hey guys, yeah.
Here's a trailer that makes the game look really bad.
That was me. You're like, hey, FF16 DLC. So, the first one is out, and
I think they released these in the wrong order.
What was the names again?
Patch fucking 5.2 and 3.2.
Was there a live letter that I should have?
There might as well, sorry, 6.2 and.
Okay, yeah.
If you
the Rising Tide,
you go find the real patch titles.
The Rising Tide. And
this is really the Rising Tide. Don't you mean Through the Maelstrom?
Echoes of the Fallen.
Echoes of a Fallen Star? That one's really funny.
What's that? It's the well, I mean, it's going to talk about the Fallen from in the world of FF16, but what is that? Is that an actual 14 thing?
Those are the patches in which you fought Leviathan and Omega.
Okay.
I got whiplash at the start of the DLC trailer for Leviathan because they say, welcome to Meracidia. And it's like, that's an FF14 location that has never been to.
Wait, is it? Okay, because what the fuck? Dude, so when the Rising Tide trailer popped up and it said, yeah, welcome to location, and it's panning over this landscape, and I looked over at Min because I was like, I feel like this is a 14 place that we're being shown here that is like, oh, we're going there. That's cool. They're tying them in. And he's like, no.
Oh, it's my Cydia? Oh, shut up.
And so when I turned to him to like, is that a 14 thing? Because it feels like it might be they're panning past the 14 thing. And he's like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, chat. The Omega thing came out. Is Larbird and Starbird in there? Is it in there? You got the Larbirds in there? It is not. All right. They had the good sense.
So this location then not from 14?
I don't know anymore.
Okay.
I do know that they put these DLCs out in the wrong order. Because the
Leviathan
Omega one is
first.
like a big dungeon where you fight Omega at the end. And the Leviathan one is like we don't know because it's not out yet, but you'll get the Leviathan powers.
Yes.
But like the way that this game is gonna, like that DLC is gonna come out is that you'll do the Leviathan DLC and get the Leviathan powers
and
then
won't
be
able
at
to
the
use
end
them.
of your complete file.
True. Having a new icon would be cooler before the final challenge. Admittedly, yeah, that's a good point. And then, oh shit, yeah, hold on. I gotta use the bathroom real quick, sorry.
Enjoy your bathroom.
Beer beat. Okay. New mana game.
Visions of Mana.
Yeah.
Don't quite have the childlike inability to pronounce the words that it deserves. But hooray!
That's a nice a return to that franchise after a very long time. I wish I didn't like have that I guess that rough start with it when I tried out the Tried it out a long time ago, and I never got into the mana games, unfortunately.
Oh, really? What was that rough start? I'm not familiar with those.
I talked about it probably years ago, and I mean, whatever. Here, incoming fire on this one because it's a beloved franchise, and that I know. I played on Super Nintendo. I think it was Seiken Densetsu 3.
There's no way you could have actually played that on a Super Nintendo because it never came out.
No.
It would have had to be Secret Mana 1 or 2.
Yeah, it was whatever I played, it was emulated. It was after the fact.
Oh, then you might have played it because the translation for that came out like really early.
Okay, so I played something emulated, and I think it was that because I had a lot of friends that were really recommending it for sure. And no, Evermore, I know it wasn't that because Evermore, I do remember that was the one that was advertised as like the
Dog
kid
falls through time.
the dog and the kid with the hat backwards, and it was the Western looking one. So it definitely wasn't that, and that was in the video store with the red monster on the box. So I think it was Seiken Densetsu 3. And I just it's really simple, but it was just like I just didn't really enjoy the combat or like what was happening for the first I played it for a few hours, I think, and I kind of just wasn't really enjoying it. I don't know, like I think as well, like I had a friend that was really hyping it up as like better than Link to the Past, and it was one of these things where I was kind of just coming at it like going like, okay, well, I'm not sure what to expect, but
I know I'm guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of it.
But I came into it like not getting at all, I guess, what I expected, and I wasn't enjoying what was happening. But it's been so long. This is like 20 years ago or so, probably. Yeah. And then I that was my experience with mana, unfortunately. But I know that like. I mean, so many people fucking love this shit, and it's got to be a reason out there for sure. It's just I had that way back when, and that was I think Seiken Densetsu 3 was considered like the best one.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
And it was like one of the tragic games. I can't believe never came out.
3 characters, I think. Main dude. And then girl, and then small.
I think isn't Twiles of Mana a remake of Seiken Densetsu 3?
Okay.
By the way, I should mention, because you look really confused every time I do it, the reason why I keep saying Twiles of Mana is because when you're on the main menu in that game and you click X, a random party member will say the title of the game, and one of them is a little girl who will literally always say Twiles of Mana.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Like what? Apparently, Vinny had that happen to him a weirdly disproportionate amount of times when he was playing through it.
I mean, you gotta love the roulette that is like which voice actor is gonna say the title, and in our case, so like fucking as I'm in the middle of dumping ass, just having Luca come in and go Bayonetta 3, like after that ending.
Trials of Mana has a interesting distinction. I'm not sure what the circumstances behind it are, but it appears to be the only game I've ever seen in which the voice actors were given no direction at all for any scene. Because whether or not they're supposed to be yelling or quiet or sad or happy is random.
Well, this is clearly not the only game. This is joining the likes of Chaos Wars and
but that's not a real game.
And that other one. Fuck. With the big sausage.
That could be any game.
No, it's the one that has the box with the big sausage and the little anime girl with the fork and the big sausage. You know the one.
I don't.
If you know,
that could be a lot of games.
If you know, you know. There's one, it's an Xbox game, and on the side of the box, there's a little anime character with a fork, and she's holding up a gigantic, Anyway, okay. Well, bad dubs, ahoy.
Okay, so I just watched about 20 seconds of part of the scene that the straight up sounds like Chaos Wars.
Okay, there you go.
Like this straight up sounds like I really can't feel my body right now.
Yep, I really can't feel my body right now. What's the other fucking game? Shikigami no Shiro, Castle Shikigami. That's the other one. In fact, is that the one? Hold on, is it Castle Shikigami for Xbox 360? Does that check out?
It doesn't look like it is.
Wait. No, this might be it.
Oh,
That might be the box. No, that's Xbox Classic. No, that wasn't it. Okay.
man, bad voice acting rules, but it has to be.
This
it has to be really bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing. So, the reason why we know is because Min and James Small and I, like, we were like, it was all back when in the fucking QA trenches and shit. We'd be like, yo, check out the video for Chaos Wars. Look at this shit. This game's amazing. And James Small would be like, I gotta track down these games with the worst voice acting and spend the entire night getting drunk and listening to it. And Shikigami no Shiro was one of them. And the fucking Record of Agarest War.
I'm looking for it. But
Record of Agarest War. Thank you. I'm not crazy. I'm telling you.
Which one is it?
It's
There's a lot of Agarest War.
It's the
ones.
naughty edition. The naughty limited edition Record of Agarest War. And that too was among the list of games of like,
Oh my
what the
God.
fuck is happening? We gotta hear this shit. Yes.
Wow, that looks like a fucking edit, man. That looks like an edit.
Shout outs to y'all. You actually tracked that shit down. I appreciate it. I'm telling you. Look at it. Anime girl can't eat that sausage. It's too big.
Too big.
She's trying. The naughty edition with the boob mouse pad. And the peep at the onsen fucking box cover art. Shit. Cancel Mana. Bring that back. Yeah. And you know that and then I think the only other thing there was that really cool looking mecha game that I was like, is this a Gundam game? And it's like no,
it's a fucking battle royale.
But look at the robots do their thing, and it was stylish as shit. And I forget what it's called, but it had the word mecha in the title.
Mecha Break?
Mecha Break.
It's a battle royale game.
Fucking.
I'll play a fucking battle royale
Yeah.
with fucking mechas.
And it had that you know, this high speed boost dodging and shit. So go. Do it.
Can I beat 47 other robots? No. But can I beat 4? Yeah, maybe.
Oh man. I would just take a Guns the Duel with robots in it.
Talking about the duel, it's been decades.
Monster Hunter
Decades.
Wilds. So I guess actual open world connected and not like open level.
We don't know that quite yet. We knew there was going to be a big focus on wildlife.
But panning the camera over a large vista, that's kind of what that shot means, right?
Probably.
Marketing language says, yeah,
But also,
go
dogs
anywhere.
are now birds.
True. Palamutes.
And also,
Gone.
this is going to be a slow Monster Hunter. Yeah.
I mean, is there anything that you could tell if you're like a Monster Hunter sleuth? Yeah, I'm wondering, like Dash Zero, did you fucking scan that for like
There's a couple things.
while you're running past the monsters, the way they're behaving? Does that give you any, you know?
Yeah, no,
clues?
that's just a shit ton of not Aptonoths. There's never been anything larger than like a pack of 4 in the games prior to that. You're being chased by a bunch of like, it looks like the Goss Harag rig, but for the desert, but there's 4 at once. So that's weird. That's a lot more monsters than you'd usually deal with. He has 2 weapons?
Important question.
Oh, that'd be a big fucking deal.
For Monster Hunter fans.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all more excited by the monster or the weapons and armor it gives you?
I would well because you can always count on your weapon coming back. So definitely the monster.
Okay, I would guess the monster because the monster's a unique interaction, and the weapon fits into an existing category. It'll just have some traits, but it'll otherwise be familiar. But that's just a guess. Kind of both, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Like this trailer. So like one of the more interesting things is that the gentleman who got his channel stricken for mods, the video in question was what Lagiacrus looked like in Sunbreak, and Lagiacrus is a what was it, a snake wyvern or leviathan wyvern, whatever. It's a type of body rigging that doesn't exist in the newer Monster Hunter games.
Okay.
That like the Leviathan, the flagship, the fucking logo of Monster Hunter Wilds is the Leviathan.
Okay.
It's like a big long snake monster. Which also coincidentally has 6 circles and its tail makes a 6. They're never going to go back to numbers, but you can see there is
the implication.
A number 6 in there.
Okay.
So like I loved fighting Laggy. I thought Laggy was great. I would love to see Laggy back.
Yeah, I guess if the armor is sufficiently sick too, that's like a whole new fashion thing.
Oh god damn it. I just saw somebody type in MHW and I'm like, fuck. World and Wilds have the exact same abbreviation.
Oh. So then
This sucks.
MHWO, MHWI.
Oh.
Remember
MHY.
Des versus Das?
Oh, terrible.
We all love specifying Des.
I like Des.
But we can't just say DS is the freaking problem.
No, you can't. No.
All right. Yeah, so then the only other thing too is Dinosaur Games, who were the ones that pitched Jet Set Radio Neo, I think, as a concept to Sega, and then it was rejected. They revealed that that footage maybe a year or two ago of a version of Jet Set Radio that they wanted to make for Sega that would involve like rhythm being part of the spraying and the skating and stuff, and it was a cool concept. It looked like it could have been a fun thing, but they got rejected because Sega was like, no one's gonna buy a Jet Set Radio game ever. That's fucking crazy. Get out of our office.
You're stupid. Get out of my house.
And then they started turning that into its own project, as you don't want to waste that effort. Understandable. So after that reveal for the new Jet Set Radio, Dinosaur tweeted out some footage of their game and basically went, dang, Sega beat us to the punch. Well, anyway, stay tuned. So
yeah, that sucks. Because, like, when they were saying, get out of here, no one cares about Jet Set Radio, they said that because they were working on Jet Set Radio.
Or they legitimately did not know or believe until Sonic Frontiers proved otherwise, and then they're like, oh okay, remember.
How long ago did they show this prototype to?
Many years ago.
Oh, well then, shit.
Yeah, I this is going back to like before the re-releases on Steam, and then Bomb Rush Cyberpunk fucking happened too. So if anything, this is just another version of Windjammers. When Windjammers 2 was supposed like not happening, there was a bunch of games that all tried to be Windjammers at home. We had like Disc Jam and the other one that the name I forget,
and none of them were Windjammers. And
they were announced at the same almost at the same time or so. Like there was a whole thing, and then I want to say we were then told the story about how Windjammers 2's trailer dropped, and I think it was Disc Jam or the other one, they had a booth at that same show.
They were like, fuck.
And they were just sitting there hand in head just like, God fucking damn it, we're not even out yet, and we're promoting, and they just teased the return after decades of nothing. You know,
what was someone in the live audience? Please help me out. What game came out in early access before Monster Hunter World? And it was like, are you sick of waiting for Monster Hunter? And then they started up their process. And then Monster Hunter World got in. Dauntless. Oh, man.
Oh, that's what Dauntless was supposed to be.
Dauntless was like, oh, man, we're never going to get another Monster Hunter game. Here's Monster Hunter, and you can play online with your friends, and it's made by Western people, so the online will be good. And then Monster Hunter World got announced, and then Dauntless came out, and it sucked. But, like, it was supposed to release in an environment in which there was no comparison point.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, yeah. Now there's Wild Hearts, and isn't there another one?
Tokiden.
Oh, right. Back in the day. Boy.
And Freedom Wars, and God, there's a lot. They have all crashed upon the rocks of the eternal shore that is Monster Hunter. God Eater.
Well, look, you gotta do your thing.
Soul Sacrifice.
That's why you gotta kind of do your thing and make sure that like you're paying the homage, but it's also enough of your thing to still be worth it, regardless if the thing comes back, right? Because, I mean, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, if it got delayed at all, it would have been post a new Jet Set announcement. But that game existing is awesome, regardless of Jet Set Radio. You know. Again, it has like fixed a bunch of that stuff and improves on some of it. So it's like you want to make sure that your replacement / no one's ever going to do this thing again is also not just like, well, it's not great, but it's better than nothing. And also there's nothing about it that you haven't already seen lifted one-to-one from the source material. You know, it's got to be enough of its own thing that it's worth releasing anyway.
Here's a good example. Somebody mentioned it. Solidus in the chat mentioned it. Project Wingman came out or started development in a period in which it didn't look like there was ever going to be another Ace Combat game. And then some Ace Combat games came out, but Project Wingman is still a really good Ace Combat game.
Awesome.
Just doesn't have the name Ace Combat on it.
Yeah, whatever you're working on, you shouldn't have your lunch stolen and then the whole project is not worth it. Lies of P, right? You've said that Lies of P seems like it's going to be Bloodborne at home, but it turns out to be so much better than that.
Oh, it's way more than that.
And that's fantastic. That's exactly the type of shit that you should be working on, you know?
Lies of P is so good.
Great. Yeah, let it be more than the sum of its parts. All right, let's take some letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, make it good by making it short and then send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com.
All right. Metal Snob from AK says, "Dear one of them and the other one,
Hey,
what's the cringiest music that you still listen to unironically?"
I wonder what caused this to come into. Oh man,
I've got an answer.
Everything I've ever listened to is cringe.
You might still catch me listening to some Enya when the mood is right. And
right.
Yeah, but like it's like a bit of it's a meme, it's a goofy thing to, you know, like be cruising down the street blasting "Who can say where the heart goes?"
I mean, that's a weird context for it.
Only time. But
I would probably say Linkin Park, honestly.
Yeah,
like Hybrid Theory and Meteora are good albums.
But like there's enough like it's no longer it's not a courageous thing. Evanescence, Linkin Park, those are all back around, and everyone's like,
no one's asking for courage.
That shit rules. No one's gonna fucking be like, that's cringy. It's like, no, the era of
no one.
The era of those things.
You tell me that the kids blowing out their speakers listening to funk remixes by Memphis Cult,
I'm saying,
aren't gonna say Linkin Park is cringe.
The era of people thinking Evanescence and Linkin Park is cringe is cringe.
you are.
That shit has come back around hard, kind of like South Park in a way, you know? Yeah.
Yo, dude, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a great story about listening to music, okay? A couple days ago, my walls started to rattle. Like shit on shelves started to, because of the bass outside. And I was like, what the fuck? So I went outside and I'm like, honestly, I wanted to be like, where is that even coming from? Right? And I walk over and my next door neighbor's teenage son and like 10 of his friends are standing outside looking at his car, which is like vibrating and it feels like the screws are going to come out. And I go, dude, is that your, and then I realized the situation that I'm in. And I'm like, dude, is that your car? And he goes, yeah. And I go, dude, my books are falling off my shelves, man.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I know. I can't play it because all the neighbors complain. And I'm like, he watched me like walk out from my front door. Like, this is the first interaction I've ever had with my next door neighbor's son. Right. And I'm like, and I go like, where are you even going to play that? And he goes, I don't know. I got 12s in there, and I don't know what.
But that's what, like, he's like, yeah, it is. Isn't it sick? You
right?
know?
And he's like, hey, sorry, I just wanted to show my friends, you know, how it gets. And I'm like, okay, man, just like, be careful.
How
and then
old?
I went back in, and I've now realized what's happening because, like, every now and then, like every 2-3 days, I will get like 10 seconds of like bass attacking my house. And I'm like, why is it so strong? And why am I only getting it for like 15 seconds? Right? Until I realized he's like going on like a drive where no one can stop him. And then he's pulling into the driveway and turning it off.
Yes, correct.
And I'm like, this happened at like 12:30 p.m. on a Saturday. So like I'm not going to be a fucking asshole about it.
Is like teenager kind of vibe?
Yeah, he's like 15, 16.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And like my thought walking back to the house is like, that can't be safe to drive. Cuz like I could feel it 150 feet away through my walls.
Oh, I mean,
I don't know how you can exist inside the car. There have been like the kitted out fucking bass drop speak subwoofers in your face and shit are set up that your hair blasts back. You lose, like you're destroying your ears permanently. But that bass though, that drop, and so I don't know what 12s in a car means. I assume he means 12 inches, but I don't know where that is on the scale. I'm going to assume that what happened is he massively overdid it because he thought it was cool. And now
move.
The minimum volume of the car is too much.
I mean, maybe, or he's doing the thing because there was an entire era of make your car vibrate as you hit that bass so hard, and then get your date in the car and then crank it up so that it blasts and shakes as much as possible.
Well,
right? And that's a whole thing, and see if you can get yourself a little fucking soundgasm.
I'm bleeding from my ears.
Isn't it hot?
But like he wasn't rude, and it was a relatively pleasant interaction. And I don't want to be the guy who's
the
walking
neighbor
around
coming
to
out the
people's
house.
fucking houses on a Saturday.
You did
telling them.
You did have, that was a red check, and you did have a Harry moment where you could have yelled Yeko Kata and jumped on the dance floor and doo-doo.
Yeah.
Doo-doo. You could have gotten in there, you know? But that's fine.
The only thing that would actually get me to go back over is if like the baby was napping and it woke the baby. and I would be like, dude, come on, I got like a little baby.
See, because the real thing is when you don't go over, but the cops pull up and they go, "There's a noise complaint," and now he knows exactly.
Oh, I'm not gonna. No, I don't believe in that.
But that's what I'm saying. But then he knows exactly which house to egg bomb on next Halloween.
I don't know. He said that all the neighbors have already complained, so I think I was the last one. I like.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, you got you got the right and left, and then you get the front and back. I feel like the front and left ones already got to him.
Okay, fair enough. Good interaction. Yeah, you could have been. You averted that being that guy and having the permanent energy now be like, "Ugh, here comes the fucking boomer." Yelling about his crying baby.
So it's got a really weird energy to it already.
Oh, my baby needs to fucking sleep.
He does. He's a sleepy guy.
All right, here. One coming in says, "Hello, Santa Claus and Krampus. Okay, Canada weighing in. For each of you personally, what's the first word that comes to mind collectively when you refer to carbonated drinks with lots of sugar and usually some caffeine?"
Soft drink.
Soda.
I will also accept the substitution of pop.
I want to know what Canada thinks about this long-running American dispute. I and everyone in my life calls it soda.
Everybody I grew up called it soft drink because that's the English translation of like Bozalgazos.
That's fine. We can live in harmony as long as we don't live with those freaks that
so
call
I
it
want to put someone
Coke?
on fucking blast.
Because if you call it Coke, you're goddamn insane. Coke is a branded beverage. And that has a specific designation
Discord right now.
And
if all caps,
if you call it Coke,
insane
go.
White.
You can go.
All just like the messages
do not
received
remain.
Is Coke, all caps, all Coke.
Nope. You can go. Do not remain.
She asks for Cokes and then expects them to ask what kind of Coke.
Hold on.
But here's the trick. Here's the trick.
If Paige asks for a Coke,
gets to hide in plain sight because she actually wants a Diet Coke,
but,
right?
Okay.
Because she would, but if she wanted a 7-Up, she would say a Coke, and then ask for a 7-Up because she's crazy.
Okay, but if she asks for a Coke and someone brings a Coke, is that a problem?
No, because that's what she wants. She wants a Coke.
Okay.
So, like, Paige is nuts, but she's dodged this problem.
Get off my phone, woman. No.
Oh, she messaging you now?
You're insane. A Coke is a specific type of beverage.
It's specific.
It's literally got a trademark and copyright symbol after it.
What kind of Cokes do you want? I don't know, with Dr. Pepper. That's not a type of Coke.
No. Off. I'm not even.
That's like
phone off.
Like Mill America down too. That's like a huge proportion.
That's insanity. Stop it. Fucking stop it.
Like I can live. I'm like happy with soda, and I can live with pop, because like once you go to Ontario and go west, it's like pop forever.
I've heard. I remember like my history teacher was describing how. In Europe, like a lot of the time there'll be like, if you go like, hey, we've got like Coke, Pepsi, 7-Up, and root beer. What do you want? Ginger ale. They'll be like, well, that's all the same thing. That's all a category, but do you not have also juices and coffees and teas, and what are your other beverages? You know, and it was just like there's a broad expectation that like a carbonated beverage is going to be one category of the many that you will have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, whatever. Sure, I don't know anyone that calls it pop, but I'll take that. That's fine. Soda pop.
Now that I'm out in BC,
it's the same word.
A lot of people say pop.
A soda pop. It's coming from the same word.
Yeah, soda pop. And then like if I say soft drink, you'll like crook your eye, but you'll know what I mean, right?
It's not Kleenex. It's not a replacement for the entire concept. All right.
You know, it is a little hypocritical of us to mock the Coke drinkers – 'while simultaneously going to the store to buy our craft dinner. 'Cause, like, you know, it is a little hypocritical of us to mock the Coke drinkers – 'while simultaneously going to the store to buy our craft dinner. 'Cause, like, you know, it is a little hypocritical of us to mock the Coke drinkers – 'while simultaneously going to the store to buy our craft dinner.
Well, I don't really eat KD, so
Yeah. But what I mean is like KD isn't just KD. It's all mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, well no, for sure. And when I have like a mac and cheese from a mac and cheese place, like I'm gonna call
But
it.
thanks for the craft dinner.
No, I call it mac and cheese. No, like
that would be insane.
K-
that would be insane.
No, because KD has the specific type of fake cheese shit that like you.
Yeah, no, it's the powder.
You have to, and that's a part of it. If you're not getting that, it's not KD. Like no. All right, last one.
I love that woman so much, but this Coke shit sometimes.
So is there some insane backwards like place where they say Pepsi when they mean all beverages of
my
carbonated
old
variety?
neighborhood when I was growing up in Verdun.
God.
But you have to say it like Pepsi.
Yeah, like Pepsi and Mae West. Mm-hmm.
Ouais, je peux avoir un Pepsi, s'il vous plaît? OK, quel type de Pepsi? Je peux avoir un Coke, s'il vous plaît?
What kind of Pepsi do you want? I want a Coke. All right. Greeting was Wooly and Pat. Been talking with a friend about the Dark Urge, and the way it was described was trying to not randomly kill people or party members. It was akin to Miyazaki resisting the urge to put in another poison swamp. So, with that, my question is, what are your favorite examples of a director having a dark urge?
Oh, okay.
I mean, number one with a bullet is Tarantino and his feet.
It's easy.
Like he cannot help himself.
He is physically incapable. Number two is Kamiya and Afterburner.
There you go.
Kamiya has made me dislike Afterburner, and Afterburner was my favorite arcade game when I was a little kid because the machine was so cool and it would tilt you and shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like with the feet thing, like. After Kill Bill, everyone was on his ass about that shit. Wiggle Your Big Toe was such an insane, obvious, gratuitous moment. And to then quadruple down with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Margot Robbie.
Is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood bad?
Oh my God, it's the worst it's ever been. Like, like after the Kill Bill thing and everyone's like, dude, come the fuck on. The scene in Once Upon a Time it's nothing but foot.
So to me,
dirty hippie.
To me, so I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but to me, I remember sitting there. I was with you watching Death Proof.
Oh,
and Poitier's fucking leg is out the fucking window, and it's like the whole wide shot.
Dave B. Dozy, Bleaky, Mitch, and Titch. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, and it's just lingering, and I'm just like, fucking.
He can't help himself.
It makes you feel like you're sitting next to someone beating off.
Exactly. It feels dirty. It feels like he can't help himself. Like he almost feels shame in it, but he's enjoying the fact that you are chastising him for his shame. Like us, like calling that out right now is part of the enjoyment, actually. Jury players.
And then the leg is the part that flies. Like that whole thing feels like snuff porn.
It's all in the leg. It's all in the leg. Absolutely.
Yeah, Tarantino with the feet. Number one, easy. I would say Afterburner with Kamiya. We make fun of him every time Kamiya has come up in like 5-6 years. We have made fun of him for the Afterburner shit. And then like in that time period, games have come out that have had Afterburner shit in them that we've been like, fuck.
To his credit, I believe at some point I think you said, dude, just make a shmup, and he did. So, he actually did go and make Sol Cresta while everyone was like, what could you just get like fucking please? Yeah. All right, that'll do. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Bye.